sentence you to life in confinement without parole.
That's f***ing horse shit. You do whatever the f*** you want.
Why are they shutting my mic off?
I'm the federal witness of the United States federal government. I demand some goddamn respect, you. All I did was trespass on property.
Ma'am, you gotta create the community that you want to live in.
Bond court is a free service, but it takes several hours of my time every day. Less than 10% of Bond court viewers hit the like button, and less than 1% leave a comment. If you want Bond court to continue to be available on YouTube for free, then please hit the like button and leave a comment on all of my videos.
Good afternoon. Can you all hear me over there at the jail?
Yes, Your Honor.
Great. All right. I'm Judge Unsavage. We're going to go ahead and get started with first appearances. May the 4th be with you all. I'm a huge Star Wars nerd, so it's fine. I said it this morning. I'll say it this afternoon. I'm going to say it at least twice today. Absolutely. There you go. All right. So we are here for first appearances. When I call your name, I need you to please come on up to the microphone, the one closest to the wall. I'm going to tell you why you've been detained, whether or not there's probable cause for that detention, and I will tell you what the conditions of your release will be, if any. If we know your next court date, we will tell you what it is. If you hear the words on demand, that means it hasn't been scheduled yet, but please keep in touch with either your lawyer or the clerk or both so that when a court date gets sent out, you don't miss your court date and end up with the failure to appear. So please stay on top of that. If you are still incarcerated when your next court date comes around, we will get you transported. Either the video link will be set up again or we'll get you over to the courthouse to not miss your court date. If you were arrested on a warrant, that means another judge already reviewed the alleged facts and decided there was enough probable cause to issue the warrant. I don't have to revisit the probable cause. I will tell you the bond conditions. Please don't ask me to modify another judge's bonds. I typically don't do that, except for when there is a charge where preliminarily somebody comes in and can be kept at a 0 until IAs. But then the IA judge is obligated to consider a reasonable bond, and of course I will. I'll look at those specifics case by case, but some cases are presumably not automatically entitled to bond, and some are. So we'll talk about it if it happens to come up. But please don't ask me to change a $5,000 bond to an ROR. It's not going to happen. You need to file a motion for reduction of bond or alternate release before the judge who has the case. So hopefully that makes sense. We'll go from there. Appearances from the state, please.
Joshua Savage for the state.
Thank you. From the public defender.
Christina Smith for the public defender.
And from pretrial release.
Marino.
Thank you. There is one we're going to do at the end. And Judge Egan is going to come in and take over on that one. He asked me to let him know. That is going to be Helen Igbonj. Judge Egan will come down and take care of that one. He told me to let him know, so we'll do that. Let's go ahead and start with Norberto Rolone.
He is present and approaching, Your Honor.
Thanks, I'm calling the interpreter.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. This is Rafael Barrera, State Certified Court Interpreter. I have been previously sworn.
Good afternoon. It's Judge Unsavage. I'm doing first appearances over at the jail.
Yes, Your Honor.
We have Norberto Rolone Vargas, 22 CF 1273. If you can ask him if he can hear you, please.
Buenas tardes, caballero. ¿Usted me escucha?
Sí.
Yes.
Good afternoon, sir. Please say your name.
Buenas tardes, caballero. Por favor, dígame su nombre.
Norberto Rolone Vargas.
Norberto Rolone Vargas.
So, Mr. Rolone, you were arrested for 2 counts.
Señor Rolone Vargas, usted lo arrestaron en 2 delitos.
Domestic violence battery is count 1.
Violencia doméstica, agresión es el primer delito.
And hindering witness communication is count 2.
Y interferir con comunicación de testigos es el segundo cargo.
I've read the affidavit and there is probable cause.
He leído el affidavit y determino que existe motivo fundado.
I'm going to ask pretrial release, the officer who's here in the courtroom with me, if there's any history.
Le voy a preguntar a la gente de libertad vigilada que se encuentra aquí en la sala conmigo si hay antecedente penal.
Your Honor, he has no prior Florida history. He has a charge of conjugal abuse in Puerto Rico in 2008.
Él no,
Hold on.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's unknown.
Su señoría, él no tiene antecedente penal en el estado de la Florida. En el año 2008 en Puerto Rico tiene un cargo de...
Oh, the interpreter phased out. We lost you.
My apologies, Your Honor. Can you hear me?
Yes, now you started to say in Puerto Rico he had, and then you went away.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll go ahead and repeat that.
Okay.
En el año 2008 en Puerto Rico tiene un cargo de abuso de cónyuge.
Mr. Rolone, I'm going to set your bond at $500 with pretrial release supervision.
Señor Rolón, le voy a programar su fianza en $500 con condiciones de libertad vigilada.
You may not have any contact with the listed victim.
No se le permitirá contacto con la víctima indicada.
You are not to return to the scene.
No se le permitirá regresar al lugar de los acontecimientos.
One-time assist order is okay to get personal belongings.
Puede regresar una sola vez acompañado de un agente de orden público para recopilar sus pertenencias personales.
Do not possess any weapons or firearms.
No puede portar armas de fuego o armas blancas.
Do you need a public defender?
¿Necesita usted un defensor público? Yes.
Public defender will be provisionally appointed.
Se va a designar de manera provisional las oficinas del defensor público.
Next court date.
On demand.
Próxima comparecencia cuando sea programada.
No, you had one booking report, 2 counts.
Okay, so what was the bond on 500?
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, 500 on count 1 and 500 on count 2. I apologize.
Disculpe, la fianza será programada en $500 en el primer cargo, $500 en el segundo cargo.
I forgot that there was an actual second count.
Disculpe, se me había olvidado que existía un segundo cargo.
Thank you.
Muchas gracias.
Anybody else for Spanish? But really needing Spanish, not pretending needing Spanish. Hold on, somebody stepped up.
Yes, Your Honor, this is, Carlos Dupuy.
Sir, you don't need an interpreter. You spoke to me in English 2 weeks ago when you were in court. Have a seat. Have a seat. Have a seat. Have a seat. Thank you. Mentira. You spoke to me in English in court. Okay. Thank you to the interpreter.
You're welcome, Your Honor. Have a good afternoon.
Okay. Thank you. Mildred Carion. Good afternoon, ma'am. Please say your name.
Mildred Carion.
Ms. Carion, you were arrested on a warrant out of Hillsborough County. The judge who signed the warrant put the bond at 0, so I can't change that. We're going to let Hillsborough County know that we have you here, and they're going to arrange to come and pick you up, okay? All right. So they'll let you know. They should be coming hopefully within the next couple of days. All right. Thank you. Jodine Anderson.
She is present and approaching, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Also, Mr. Mullins is here.
Okay. Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Mullins.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Ernie Mullins on behalf of Jodine Anderson.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Please say your name.
Jodine Anderson.
Thank you. So, Ms. Anderson, you were arrested on a warrant that was signed by another judge. The charges in there are aggravated domestic battery and domestic violence. That judge found probable cause for both of those counts. I reviewed it as well because I have to make a bond determination. I'm going to ask PTR if there's any history.
Yes, Your Honor. She has history dating back to 2019 for a battery, an FTA for that battery from 2019, and she was sentenced to probation. For that, she has a battery in 2020, which was dropped with the same victim. She does qualify for a bond with PTR.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Anything from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Mullins, anything further from the defense?
No, Your Honor. We would just ask the court to set a bond in the amount of $1,000 with PTR conditions. We concur that they're probably appropriate here.
Okay. At this time, though, based on what I've read in the affidavit, based on the history of the failure to appear, bond in count 1 will be set at $2,500. Bond in count 2 will be set at $500, both with pretrial release supervision. No contact with listed victims, and no return to any shared residence, no weapons or firearms. And I'm assuming this is still going to be on demand. We don't have court dates set out on these yet.
Yeah, I don't see any court dates.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, have a good day.
Have a good afternoon.
You too. Tyler Bryant. Good afternoon, please say your name.
Tyler Bryant.
Thank you. Mr. Bryant, you were arrested on a warrant, 2 counts, trafficking in stolen property, petty theft. The judge who issued the warrant set your bonds at $2,500 count 1, $250 count 2. Looks like you're also out on bond in 22 CF 881. So that bond is going to hereby be revoked and set at 0. Do you need a public defender?
I do. Is there any way that the bond could be modified to, so that it would not be set at 0?
Did you hear what I said earlier before? I'm not going to modify anybody's bonds? Yeah. Okay, so no. The answer to the question is going to be no. The bond's going to be revoked and set at 0. Do you need a public defender for both of these cases or just the new one?
Both.
All right, PD will be appointed provisionally. Next court date?
On demand.
On demand. Thank you. Jessica Crown.
She is present and approaching, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Please say your name.
Jessica Crown.
Ms. Crown, you were arrested on 2 violation of probation warrants. Both bonds are set at 0. Do you need a public defender?
Yes, ma'am.
PD will be appointed provisionally. Next court date?
May 9th, 10 a.m.
May the 9th at 10, so next week.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Robinson Mattellus.
He is present and approaching, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Please say your name.
Robinson Mattellus.
Thank you. Mr. Mattelus, you were arrested on a violation of probation warrant. Your bond is set at 0. Do you need a public defender?
Yes, ma'am.
PD will be appointed provisionally. Your next court date will be?
May 12th, 8:05 a.m.
May 12th. It's probably jail arraignments next week.
Okay.
Thank you.
Your Honor, for this charge, I've already did 30 days.
Okay. It's a first-degree misdemeanor, so you could do up to 365 days minus the 30 days credit. That's the range.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
So May 12th?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Dale Miller.
He is present and approaching, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good afternoon, sir. Please say your name.
Dale Miller.
Thank you. Mr. Miller, you were arrested on a warrant for violation of probation. The bond is set at 0. Do you need a public defender?
Yes, ma'am.
PD will be appointed provisionally. Next court date?
May 16th.
May the 16th. Thank you. Shannon Pent.
She is present and approaching, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Please say your name.
Shannon Pent.
Thank you. Ms. Pent, you were arrested on a capias for failure to appear. Judge Nix issued this. Your bond is set at 0. Do you need a public defender?
I have a public defender, Your Honor. I was there. I got there late with my dad that's handicapped, a few minutes late. The judge was still there, but the warrant was already issued.
All right, you got to talk to Judge Nix about it. It's not my warrant.
Okay. So
Okay.
I can get a bond for $1,000?
You have to ask Judge Nix. She's the one who issued the warrant. So your public defender needs to file a motion to set bond, and then Judge Nix can decide whether or not she's going to grant it. This is the warrant she signed and gave to me.
I got 3 kids at home. I'm a single mother.
Okay, talk to Judge Nix.
When would that be?
Whenever your public defender schedules it with Judge Nix. Thank you. Timothy Stovall.
He is present and approaching, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Please say your name.
Timothy Stovall.
Thank you. Mr. Stovall, you were arrested on a warrant for violation of an injunction. There is probable cause based on what the judge who issued the warrant found. I read it also to be familiar with the facts, and I'll ask PTR if there's any history.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Stovall has over 70 prior arrests.
70? 7-0?
7-0.
Okay.
Most recently, I will give 2019 for burglary, petty theft. Both were dropped. Grand theft. He was adjudicated for 3 years probation for that. 2020, resisting without violence. 2021, the same charge. Drug equipment in 2021, which was dropped. He has history also out of New York and Tennessee for an unauthorized use of a vehicle and possession of marijuana.
I saw on the risk assessment sheet, in addition to other things, that he would qualify for PTR with a bond. Would that include electronic monitoring? If
Yes.
I ordered him to be on electronic monitoring, is something a PTR will supervise?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Bond is set at $2,000 with pretrial release and electronic monitoring.
Hey, Your Honor.
No contact whatsoever with listed victim. Do not go within 1,000 feet of where she lives or where she works. Yes, sir?
Can I ask what I'm being charged with, a violation? Like, I've been in Orange County Jail for the past 12 months. And
Sure.
I don't even know why they're charging me with
Mr. Stovall, I can repeat it. I said it already, but I'm happy to repeat it for you. The warrant that was issued was for violation of an injunction.
I'm trying to find out why. I haven't had no information with this case in 12 months, man.
Okay, what the police report says, what the warrant says that the judge signed is that you were having contact with Maria Zimke from the Orange County Jail on different phone calls, and that's what's in the report that you'll get a copy of and your lawyer will get a copy of. Do you need a public defender?
Yes, ma'am.
PD will be appointed provisionally next court date.
On demand.
They'll let you know. Thank you. Gabriel Ayala.
Your Honor, he is not here. He's a mental health issue.
Okay, is the public defender seeking provisional appointment on this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is the public defender wishing for him to be reset or waived?
We'll waive, Your Honor.
All right, so the court will provisionally appoint the public defender. I read the affidavit and made me think that perhaps there was more going on that will come out later, I guess, but
Yes, Your Honor.
I thought maybe that would be your request. I will tell you, though, he was arrested for burglary with a battery therein, domestic violence battery, and then assault on a firefighter or law enforcement officer. And there is probable cause. Because count 1 is an F1 PBL, it's a 0 bond. And the other bond, count 2 will be 1,000, count 3 will be 250. No contact with victim, no return. He's not going to go anywhere right now on a 0, but I have to say it.
Yes, Your Honor. I
Okay.
understand.
And then he'll be set on demand, and then hopefully by then you'll have some time to figure out what his other needs are.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. 0, 1, and I thought I said 1,002 and 253 with no contact victim, no return. Carol Boone.
This is the same, Your Honor. She is in mental health medical.
Okay. Does the public defender seek provisional appointment?
Yes, Your Honor.
And would you like to reset her or waive?
We'll waive, Your Honor.
All right. So at this time, then, the court provisionally appoints the public defender. Public defender has waived Ms. Boone's appearance because of her medical concerns. I've read the affidavit. She's detained. She was arrested for domestic violence battery and battery on a person 65 or older. There is probable cause. PTR, any other history that I need to know?
Yes, Your Honor. She has an aggravated assault in 2012 and a battery which was dropped in 2014. That was a different victim.
Thank you. Bond count 1 will be 1,500. Bond count 2 will be 1,500 with pretrial release supervision. No contact with her mom. I believe it would be her mom and her sister.
I believe so, Your Honor.
Yeah, Regina and Patricia. And no return to the address. No weapons or firearms. A one-time assist order is okay if she needs to get some of her personal things.
Your Honor, at this time, she doesn't qualify for PTR due to her,
Oh, it's checked yes on here. Actually, it's checked both.
yeah, it's, later on we came to find out due to her medical status.
Oh, okay, so
at
she
the time.
doesn't qualify.
Yeah, she
All
does
right,
not.
so I'll remove the PTR supervision, but the other conditions of no return, no contact, no weapons or firearms still are in effect. Thank you. And on demand. Carlos Dupuy, 22 CF 1267.
I'm sorry, I thought you said people that were Spanish, I'm sorry.
All right, say your name, Mr. Dupuy.
Carlos Dupuy, Stefan again. I not abandon him, you know.
I can't hear you, sir, and you probably don't want to say anything. As the video said, anything that you say can be used against you. You are being recorded.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I'm just advising you of your right.
You remember the whole thing of...
I remember the situation of the eviction with your sister, your mom, and your son. I remember that.
And you know, I came to support him. I have not...
Okay, well, I'm just reading the report and I have to make legal decisions. I'm not making the ultimate decision of whether you're guilty or not. This is just about your arrest. You were arrested for neglect of a disabled person and there is probable cause. PTR, any history?
Yes, Your Honor. He has history dating back to 2016 for fraud, grand theft, crimes against a person, impersonation, illegal credit card use in 2017, multiple FTAs in 2018, another FTA in 2020, and an assault out of New York.
I noticed on the booking report, it says permanent address transient. Last time he was in court with me, he told me he lives in Pennsylvania. So I don't know if PTR is aware of that. I know that they probably just put on here whatever he tells them when they're booking him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your Honor, we asked him during his assessment this morning, and he stated he was transient.
Okay. Bond is set at $1,500 with pretrial release, no contact with listed victim. Do you need a public defender, Mr. Dupuy?
Yes.
PD will be appointed provisionally. Next court date?
On demand.
Thank you. Dana Durlin. Mr. Hand, are you watching or do you have a case?
I'm here for 1:30 hearing.
Oh, I think it canceled. I thought it canceled. Oh, Judge Egan's case, never mind. Because this is the courtroom that I usually use, and so I thought you had a civil case because I'm in civil now. I thought maybe you were with me in civil. I was like, my 1:30 canceled. But Judge Egan's gonna come down as soon as I'm done with these.
That's my understanding.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Please say your name.
Dana DeRolin.
Thank you. Mr. Rowland, you were arrested for petty theft. I read the affidavit. There is probable cause. PTR.
Yes, Your Honor. She does have a FTA in 2021 and a battery in 2022, which was dropped. The charge does qualify for direct PTR.
All right, let me take a look. The case where she FTA'd, what kind of a case was it?
It was a criminal traffic case.
Oh, I see it, no registration case. All right. Mr. Erlin, I'm gonna allow you to be released, pretrial release. You qualify for direct PTR. The conditions of the release will be don't go back to any Walmart. Don't have any contact with any of the listed co-defendants. So the whole group of people that got caught with this, got arrested for this, you're not allowed to have contact with any of them. So, Tania Vaughn, Tariq Merritt, Bryant Mattellus, and Corleroy Mattellus, you're not allowed to have any contact with them, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you need a public defender? Do you need a lawyer to represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, PD will be appointed provisionally. Next court date?
On demand.
That means they'll let you know. Thank you. Scott Gilson.
He is present and approaching, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Please say your name. I can't hear you. One more time? What's your first name? Thank you. Mr. Gilson, you were arrested for grand theft auto, resisting without violence, driving on a suspended license with knowledge. I've read the affidavit. There is probable cause. PTR?
Yes, Your Honor. He has a failure to appear in 2018, battery, domestic violence, 2018, which he was found guilty, cruelty towards a child, that was no pros. Another FTA in 2018, followed by a VOP in 2019, and his current charge that he's out on bond for, drug equipment and possession of a controlled substance in 22 CF 689.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Grand theft auto, bond is 1,000, resisting is 1,000, suspended with knowledge is 1,000, and 22 CF 689 is revoked and set at 0. Do you need a public defender, Mr. Gilson?
I need more than that.
Well, would you like for me to appoint you a public defender?
A lawyer would be better.
Public defender is a lawyer.
That's fine.
Okay, PD will be appointed provisionally. Next court date will be on demand. Thank you. Waleeda Johnson.
She is present and approaching, Your Honor.
Mr. Hand, don't you want to come to criminal?
I like you in civil, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ma'am. Please say your name.
Waleeda Johnson.
Thank you. Ms. Johnson, you were arrested for domestic violence battery. I've read the affidavit and there is probable cause. PTR?
Your Honor, she has no prior Florida history. She has one charge out of Georgia for burglary in 2011. The disposition is unknown.
Thank you. Bond in this case will be set at $1,000 with pretrial release. No contact with your sister, who is the alleged victim. No return to the house. A one-time assist order is okay to get personal belongings. No weapons or firearms. Do you need a public defender, Ms. Johnson? Do you need for me to appoint a lawyer for you, or are you going to talk to a private lawyer?
Okay, it's fine.
I can't hear you, ma'am.
It's fine.
That's fine what? Private or public? Public? All right, PD will be appointed provisionally. Next court date will be on demand. Thank you. Helena Katz.
She is present and approaching, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Please say your name.
Helena Katz.
Ma'am, you were arrested for domestic battery on a person 65 or older. I read the affidavit. There is probable cause. PTR, any history?
Your Honor, she has no part in or out of state arrest.
Ma'am, your bond is going to be set at $1,000 with pretrial release supervision. No contact with the listed victim. Maintain a separate residence. Do not possess any weapons or firearms. Do you need a public defender?
Yes, I do, and I actually have nobody else besides my husband to call. And we didn't have any battery.
Okay, so the public defender's office will be appointed provisionally, and I'll let you talk to them about what you need to do next or what you should do next. Next court date will be on demand. Thank you. Melvin Lopez.
He is present and approaching, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Please say your name.
Melvin Lopez.
Thank you. Mr. Lopez, you were arrested for possession of synthetic cannabinoids, DUI with property damage, and refusal to submit to a lawful test of your breath, blood, or urine. I've read the affidavit. There is probable cause. I know you're also out on bond in 22 CF 208. PTR, any other history?
Your Honor, he has history dating back to 2000 for robbery, public disorderly intoxication, Willis. Most recently, in 2015, he was charged with selling cocaine, destroying evidence, DUI in 2016. He was sentenced to 1 year of probation, DUI in 2019. He was acquitted of that, and the current charge that he is out on bond for in 2022.
Thank you. The possession of the synthetic will be $1,000. DUI property damage will be $5,000. The refusal is $2,500. And 22 CF 208 is revoked and set at 0. Do you need a public defender, sir?
Yes, I have a medical.
PD will be appointed what?
I have a medical card and
Okay.
I never refused.
I'll answer your question. What was the refusal?
The refusal was $2,500. Next court date will be on demand, sir. Thank you. Tariq Merritt.
Yes, President, approaching, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Please say your name. I'm sorry, sir, I can't hear you.
Tariq Merritt.
Thank you. Mr. Merritt, you were arrested for carrying a concealed firearm. There is probable cause. PTR?
Your Honor, he has no prior adult history in or out of state. He has a disturbing the peace as a juvenile in 2015 that was dropped. He does qualify for direct PTR.
Bond in this case is going to be set at $1,000 plus pretrial release. No weapons or firearms. No return to any Walmart. No contact with any listed co-defendants. Do you need a public defender, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
PD will be appointed. Next court date will be on demand. Thank you. Corleroy Mattellus.
Yes, President, approaching, Your Honor.
Thank you. Please say your name, sir.
Corleroy Mattellus.
Corleroy, sorry, I said it wrong. Mr. Mattelus, you were arrested for carrying a concealed firearm. I've read the affidavit, and there is probable cause. PTR, any history?
Your Honor, he has no prior history in or out of state.
Okay. So your bond is set at $1,000 with pretrial release. No weapons or firearms. No return to any Walmart. No contact with any co-defendants. Do you need a public defender?
Yes, ma'am.
PD will be appointed provisionally. Next court date will be on demand. Thank you. Ginger Odom.
She is President, approaching, Your Honor.
Thank you. How many do we have today? Were there 30? 30. For some reason, it didn't feel like that when I was reading everything. It didn't feel horrible. Thin, yeah. Good afternoon, ma'am. Please say your name.
Ginger Odom.
Ms. Odom, you were arrested for domestic violence battery, and it looks like you're on probation in Orange County in 20 CF 14804. I've read the affidavit with regard to the domestic violence, and there is probable cause. Let me ask PTR if there's any other history.
Yes, Your Honor. She has history dating back to 2008, synthetic narcotic, drug trafficking, grand theft, aggravated assault, battery. From 2019 to 2021, she has 8 batteries and 3 aggravated assaults, a conditional release violation in 2020, which was dropped, and the current charge that she's out on probation for.
Okay. Bond in the domestic will be set at $500, no contact with listed victim. The court finds an on-view violation for violation of probation 20 CF 14804 out of Orange County. I'm remanding you on the violation of probation and temporarily setting your bond at 0. Probation will have 10 days to file the appropriate affidavit, or thereafter you may move to be released without any appropriate affidavit being filed. Do you need a public defender, Ms. Odom?
Yes, ma'am.
PD appointed provisionally. Next court date for the Osceola case will be on demand. Not sure what they're going to do with the Orange County case, but they'll let you know, okay?
Okay,
Thank you. Sean Smith.
Your Honor, he has refused.
Okay, do you know, does Mr. Smith have any medical or physical disabilities that would render him a difficult person to deal with? Otherwise, I don't allow refusals.
Mental health, Your Honor.
Okay, so is the public defender seeking temporary appointment?
Yes, Your Honor, we are appointed on other cases for him.
Gotcha. So public defender is appointed in this case. Are you waiving or are you asking for a reset?
Waiving, Your Honor.
All right, so the public defender is waiving appearance at IA's. Mr. Smith was arrested for possession cocaine, possession paraphernalia, resisting without. There is probable cause. Looks like he's out on a 33-day motion in Orange. I'm not taking any action on that because I'm not. I'll let Orange County decide how they want to deal with it. If they want to file against him, they could file. The cocaine will be stayed at 25. The paraphernalia will be 100. The resisting will be 100. And he will be on demand.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thanks. Jenna Tanner.
She is present and approaching, Your Honor.
Judge Egan, want to know when we're getting close to the end? Yeah, I have 3 left. Yeah. Good afternoon, ma'am. Please say your name.
Jenna Tanner.
Thank you. Ms. Tanner, you were arrested for petty theft. Read the affidavit. There is probable cause. I know you're out on bond for grand theft in 22 CF 1241. PTR, any other history?
Yes, Your Honor. She has history dating back to 2010, 2010 through 2014. She has 2 FTAs, a VOP, driving without a valid driver's license. In 2018, she was found guilty for larceny out of Brevard, and the case that she's currently out on bond for, grand theft, in 2022. She was bonded out last month.
Bond will be set at $1,000, and bond in 22 CF 1241 will be revoked and set at 0, and no return to any Walmart. Do you need a public defender, Ms. Tanner? Yes. PD appointed provisionally. Next court date will be on demand. Thank you. Josue Vasquez?
He is present and approaching, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good afternoon, sir. Please say your name.
Josue Vasquez.
Mr. Vasquez, you were arrested for resisting without violence, possession of paraphernalia, possession of cocaine, and trying to destroy or conceal evidence. There is probable cause. PTR, any history?
Yes, Your Honor. He has history dating back to 2018 for possession of counterfeit check, driving without a valid driver's license, resisting without violence, multiple times from 2018 to 2021. He also has a driving without a valid driver's license in 2021, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. He also has a history out of Texas and Puerto Rico for possession of marijuana and marijuana trafficking out of Puerto Rico, which he did do probation.
What are the other legal constraints that you circled?
He has a open warrant for failure to appear.
Okay.
Out of Puerto Rico.
Out of Puerto Rico. Okay, got it. So the resisting is going to be 100. The paraphernalia is going to be 100. The cocaine is going to stay 2,500, and the altering or destroying will be 2,500. Do you need a public defender, Mr. Vasquez?
Yes.
PD will be appointed provisionally. Next court date will be on demand. Thank you. Stephen Williams.
He is present and approaching, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good afternoon, sir. Please say your name. Mr. Williams, you were arrested for trespass. I've read the affidavit. There is probable cause. PTR, any history?
Yes, Your Honor. He has history dating back to 2003, cocaine sale, cocaine possession, marijuana possession. Most recently in 2018, he was charged with resisting without violence out of Orange County. That was dropped. Drug possession, cocaine possession, all were dropped. Most in 2021, he had a cocaine possession which was dropped out of Osceola, and a resisting without violence, all dropped.
And I'm sorry if you said this. How many FTAs?
He only has one FT. Wait. He has no FTAs, Your Honor.
Okay. So at this time, based on the risk assessment sheet, he qualifies for direct PTR, correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Williams, I'm going to release you pretrial release with weekly check-in. Doesn't have to be in person, but you need to stay in touch with PTR weekly. You're not allowed to go on the property of any Wawa gas station, so stay away from all the Wawas, okay? Do you need a public defender?
Yeah.
PD will be appointed provisionally. Your next court date will be? They'll let you know. Just keep in touch with your public defender so you don't miss your court date, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Did we miss any from the jail?
There's just the one matter with Judge Egan.
And he's here, and I'm gonna give him my seat in just a second. All right, thank you. All right, all yours. You're very welcome. And I put the paperwork right here for you. Get my stuff out of your way.
Good afternoon at the jail. How are you?
I'm well, Judge. How are you?
I'm doing great. And can I get your name, please?
Christina Smith for the Public Defender's
Ms.
Office.
Smith. Excellent. Okay. And it's Miss Igbonj. She's there. She's welcome to come up to the microphone. And good afternoon. And I saw you yesterday, but for the record, you are Helen Igbonj. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so Ms. Igbonj, after I saw you yesterday, I prepared an order to show cause, which I think a copy may have been given to you. But yesterday I found probable cause that you committed indirect contempt of court. And I put that to writing here today. And I'm going to tell you what's going on, and then I'm going to see if there are any questions. And I might have some matters to discuss with the lawyer there, Ms. Smith, okay? But I found probable cause that you violated an order dated October the 3rd, 2017, entered by Judge Epperson in 2017 CC 1619. I also found probable cause that you violated order entered by Judge Sanders Morency on August 23rd, 2019. That's in case number, as a 2017 case, I believe. And also an order dated February 21st, 2020, signed by Judge Mike Murphy. And the substance of those orders are outlined in this motion here. I'm going to enter a not guilty plea for you. This does involve allegations of indirect contempt of court, which carries a maximum sentence of 180 days in jail, okay? Ms. Smith, I know this is a little bit different, but it is my intention to appoint the Office of the Public Defender and give her a hearing date. Is that okay with you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And I know that Mr. Hand is here, who represents the plaintiff, who's the property owner of where Ms. Igbonj used to live. And I intend to appoint him as a special prosecutor so we can hold a contempt hearing, and I'm going to give you a date for that. But Mr. Hand, let me start with you. Is there anything that you're requesting today?
Your Honor, we would, if you want to put a bond in this case, we would like to rather be a cash bond and somewhat substantial because of the financial obligations my clients have had to endure in trying to get this all cleaned up in these cases.
And Ms. Smith, are you able to hear him?
A little. I just heard him.
Okay. You might want to sit down and get closer to the microphone.
Thank you, Your Honor. We would ask for a cash bond. If the court were to grant a bond in this case, a cash bond of a substantial amount because of the financial problems that we've had in trying to get this thing straightened out. And we would ask the court to consider that when it decides what it wants to do with her.
Now, is the nature of the issue the filings that she currently apparently continues to make? Is it the court filings?
Your Honor, she's filing deeds and then lawsuits based upon the fact that she says that she owns this property, which she does not. So my clients cannot sell this property, are not able to deal with this property with her having filed what we believe to be false deeds, and we think that it has to stop. This is the fourth deed done that way. And the tax collector and the property appraiser keep changing it based upon the filings. And it causes a great deal of financial heartache for my client.
And Ms. Smith, just so you know, I learned about this case basically yesterday. I think Ms. Igbonj had a foreclosure in 2014 or 15. It did get concluded with a judgment entered against her and in favor of the lender. and there continues to be lawsuits filed by her related to this property. And that was the nature of the 3 court orders that I read off. 3 judges have ordered her to stop filing documents with the clerk of the court related to this parcel of property. I believe the clerk of the court was also instructed by Judge Murphy to stop accepting filings, and that hasn't happened, and quite frankly, I don't know why. But I found probable cause, because I looked at the court file, that she had done this, and here we are. She's entitled to counsel in a hearing, and she's entitled to conditions of release, I suppose. But Ms. Smith, have you had a chance to chat with her? You're welcome to take a minute or two if you want to talk to her.
If I can, Your Honor, just for a moment.
Sure, okay. Good afternoon, court. I should be done.
I do, that was fine. I have a 2 o'clock, which it's supposed to be sending over consent, final judgment consent, I'm just waiting. You know, they wait till the last minute.
I'm trying to remember if I procrastinated as much as a lawyer as they do these days or not.
I know, I was always so scared to get on a judge's bad side.
That doesn't appear to be an issue.
We're ready, Your Honor.
So Mr. Hand here, he's asking for a cash bond to be posted. I'm open to discussion about that.
Your Honor, Miss
Helen Igbonj.
I'm sorry, I don't want to mess that up. She has very incredibly limited resources. If we could do like a direct PTR or an ROR with conditional release conditions, or if in the alternative a monetary bond was granted, if we could make it on the lower end of the legally allowable spectrum so that she can post bond, so that she can prepare for any sort of hearing that may come up in these matters.
And Mr. Hand, I'm inclined to release her on her own recognizance with some instructions that if she violates, then that would be, her release would be revoked, and she would probably stay in the county jail until we set her for hearing. So, Ms. Smith, what I'd like to do is release her on her own recognizance with the condition that she have no contact with the plaintiff in this case or anybody affiliated with them, Springhouse Ventures LLC, and also that she file nothing with any clerk of the court or any government agency regarding this property unless it's something signed by a licensed attorney in the state of Florida.
Yes, Your Honor.
And if she violates those, and if good probable cause is shown that she violates those, I will have her picked up again, and it doesn't need to come to that. Okay? I can set this for a hearing pretty quickly. I can give you more time, but the week after next is the week of May 16th. I had a trial go away, and I would be at your disposal. If that's enough time, Ms. Smith, I can start with you.
I'm not exactly sure who in our office this would be assigned to. I have several trials set for next week. We'll see how that goes, but they should be pretty fast.
Okay.
Late next week shouldn't be an issue.
Well, it's a week after next, I think May the 16th. But if you've got a pen, since the state isn't going to be involved in this, Mr. Hand is going to play the role of the prosecutor. I'm going to ask you to put your contact information, email address, so Ms. Smith can, at least your email address, phone number, if you're comfortable. So, okay.
That's fine. It's on the bar directory, all of that information.
What was your first name?
Ronald, last name is Hand, H-A-N-D.
Okay.
0271233.
027, I'm sorry?
Oh, sorry, that's my bar number.
All right.
I'd be glad to coordinate with you on that.
And I can just set it for a contempt hearing on, how about the 19th of May? That's a Thursday at 9 a.m.? Okay, and just contact my JA if there's a problem with that date. And Ms. Igbonj can go home. She's not to have any contact with the plaintiff here or do any filing related to this property until we have this hearing. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Are there any questions, Ms. Smith, from you or Ms. Igbonj?
Yes, Your Honor, because actually I didn't file anything regarding to this property, but there's a check issued fraudulently on my name that stole my identity, that destroyed my life up to now.
And that I understand. And Ms. Smith, this is what we learned yesterday, but I told her yesterday her remedy was to appeal the order she's complaining about now, not to continue to file things. And maybe someone with your office can talk to her about that. But we cannot go back and relitigate that which has already been done.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay? Mr. Hand, how about you? Anything else?
No, Your Honor, that would be the 19th at 9 a.m., is that correct?
Yeah, that's courtroom 5C. Courtroom 5C would be my courtroom, okay?
Your Honor, I have a hearing coming on the 16th regarding to the check that I filed with the other party. It's on the 16th.
I'm sorry, Ms. Smith, what did she say?
She said that she has a hearing regarding the check that was filed on the 16th.
If it please the court, there's another outstanding case in front of a summary claims case, which we have a hearing set on contempt on the 16th.
Osceola County?
Osceola County.
Judge Savage, no?
No, I'm sorry, it just escapes me, but it's summary claims court. Yeah.
Okay. Well, she needs to attend that hearing, of course, and if there's something to be filed related to that case, I don't think I should get involved there. So she can go to that hearing, but I presume since that's already a contempt hearing, whatever needs to be filed has already been filed. Okay, so I don't want her to file anything, but certainly she needs to attend that hearing. Otherwise, she would be at risk of a writ of bodily attachment.
If it please the court, I can assure the court she has filed something in that case. She has sent me copies.
But nothing from today forward. I don't want any additional.
I understand. This has previously been done.
Okay.
Your Honor, there's a document that's supposed to go to that case that is not on the case yet. They send it to me, so I have to forward the case, the document to the court.
Bring it to court with you, but doing what you just told me you want to do violates Judge Epperson's order, violates Judge Murphy's order, and Judge Sanders' order, okay? You're not supposed to be filing anything related to this property. So whatever you have, I suggest you bring it to court, but you do not file it. Otherwise, you're at risk to get picked up again.
Oh, give it to the judge on that day?
Just bring it that day, and she will either consider it or she won't, but you're not to file it, okay?
Okay.
Okay, Ms. Smith, thank you very much for your help on this. Appreciate it.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Hand.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Judge, thank you very much for
My
letting me
pleasure,
know.
anytime.
Bond court is a free service, but it takes several hours of my time every day. Less than 10% of Bond court viewers hit the like button, and less than 1% leave a comment. If you want Bond court to continue to be available on YouTube for free, then please hit the like button and leave a comment on all of my videos.
Good morning. This is Courtroom 1, Session 1. I'm Judge Amy Carter. Could I have the attorneys place their appearances on the record, please?
Good morning. Edith Bush for the Office of the State Attorney.
Good morning. Brian Wynn with the Office of Public Defender.
Thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Brandon Bass.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Brian Huggins, East Behavior.
All right, we'll reset Mr. Huggins. And you're Mr. Bass?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, you were here in case number 19 CF 7345. You were arrested for sale and delivery of heroin, sale and delivery of cocaine, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. I do find probable cause for those offenses. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Your bond on count 1 is $15,000, your bond on count 2 is $150, and your bond on count 3 is $150. Thank you, sir. Good morning, your name?
Stallnecker.
Mr. Stallnecker, you are here in case number 19 CF 7342. You were arrested for retail theft greater than $300. I do find probable cause, and I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Your bond is $1,000, and you're not to return to the Lowe's at 8700 West Colonial Drive, sir. All right, thank you.
Mr. Burton refused, Your Honor.
Okay. We'll reset Mr. Burton. Good morning, your name?
Whisper Cruz.
Sir, you're here in case number 19 CF 7411. You were arrested for possession of cocaine. I do find probable cause and will appoint the public defender's office to represent you, sir. At this time, your bond in that case will be $500. And in case number 19MM 4351, you were arrested for resisting officer without violence. I do find probable cause for that offense, and your bond will be $100. Sir, were you going to hire an attorney, or do you want to see if you qualify for the office of the public defender?
Yes, ma'am.
The public defender? Okay. Are you working?
No.
Okay. Do you have any source of income?
No.
Okay. Based upon your testimony, I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you, sir. Thank you.
Cornelius Kipyong is mental health.
Okay. Mr. Kipyong, we will reset. Good morning, your name?
Deandre Lee.
Mr. Lee, you are here in case number 19 CF 7410. You were arrested for burglary of a conveyance and grand theft 3rd degree. I do find probable cause. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you, sir. Your bond on count 1 is $3,500. Your bond on count 2 is $150. You're not to have any contact with Spencer Jimenez, and you are not to return to 7732 Silver Star Road.
So,
Nope.
where's my girl? That's I
Well, you can go to your house, you just can't go to the store.
Well, I just can't go to the liquor store.
Right.
I can have somebody go to the store for me.
Sure.
That's crazy.
Thank you, sir.
Can we pass by Mr. Delbron?
Sure.
Sean Green is medical.
All right, we'll reset Mr. Green.
Santiago Ramirez is Spanish.
Okay.
And Mr. Worley is behavior.
All right, at this time, I'm gonna find a waiver of Mr. Wardley's appearance. He was also behavior yesterday. This is the second time that his case was reset. It's case number 19MM4324. He was arrested for providing false ID to law enforcement. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender and his bond is $500. All right. Good morning, ma'am. Your name?
Gabriella Ayala.
And we're hearing case number 19CF7403. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Judge.
Could you state your name for the record, please?
Frederick Wazeski.
Okay. Ma'am, you were arrested for possession of a controlled substance and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause. You're here with counsel this morning. What can I do, counsel?
Judge, I saw that there was a pre-bond amount set. I would ask if that would be, I believe it was 1,000 on count 1 and 100 on count 2, if I believe correctly. If, if the court would also like to give her instructions about not, having controlled substances that she has no prescription for, we'd ask that she be able to post bond for those amounts.
Okay. My concern with this is that she's already out on bond.
Yes.
In 19 CF 1393 for similar offenses.
Yes, Judge, I'm the attorney for that case.
Okay.
I spoke with the state about that, Judge. It was in the property of the high school where she was attending. There were several individuals involved in a vehicle. I believe she might have been the only adult. Just a mere reading of the information shows that, or the charging document. I've had numerous conversations with the intake attorney, and there's a lot of confusion about the case. They haven't filed on it yet, Judge, and I don't know that they will. I do understand that obviously it's similar in nature, but if the court would, I believe the state had recommended to revoke and set a new bond on that case as well. But I just feel because she's here really without, her family's out of country and she's staying with relatives, that, her means are a little limited.
Okay. Ms. Bush?
And, Your Honor, the state would also recommend that, in addition to any bonds, that she receive random urinalysis through pretrial release services.
Okay. So at this time, I'm not going to take any action on the out on bond case. I'll leave the bond intact as it is. I'll stay the bond at 1,000 on count 1 and 100 on count 2.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ma'am, I'm going to also order, though, that you're not to possess or consume any illegal substances or any controlled substances without a valid prescription. I'm also going to order that you're to be drug tested through pretrial services while out on bond. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Mr. Bailey bonded, Your Honor.
Okay. Stay bonded.
Ms. Bess is downtown court.
Okay, we will reset Ms. Bess.
Jonathan Bone is TDY to Marshall.
Okay, so what does that mean with respect to our case?
I don't know if they're gonna bring it back,
Okay,
but right now, it's temporary, he's temporary released them.
okay. And they don't have a time frame in which they return him? Okay.
And Mr. Burton refused.
Okay. This is 19 CF 7413 Jonathan Bond. He was arrested for possession of a controlled substance with intent to sell, possession of fentanyl, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I'm going to appoint the public defender. Is this Miss, wait, who's not here?
Yeah, Bond isn't here.
Bond
It's-
is T.Y.
Cool.
This is Katie?
Right, no,
Kathy?
I'm doing Mr. Bond's
Oh, I'm
case.
sorry,
Yeah, that's
Your
okay. I just thought maybe I had the wrong, like, paperwork from me. Okay, no, I am going to IA Mr. Bond's case. He did fill out the public defender form, so I'll appoint the public defender to represent him. I do not find that there's probable cause as to count 1. There is probable cause as to counts 2 and counts 3. Bond on count 1 will be 15, I'm sorry, bond on count 2 will be 1,500. Bond on count 3 will be 100. He'll be ROR'd on count 1. Good morning.
Morning.
Your name?
Brian Katie.
Mr. Katie, you are here in case number 19 CF 7392. You were arrested for battery on a person 65 years of age or older. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you, sir. We're going to set your bond at $1,000. I'm also going to order that you're not to possess or consume any alcohol or drugs while out on bond. You're not to have any contact with Gloria Theophilus, and you are not to return to her property. Thank you, sir. Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Stephanie Cintron.
Ms. Cintron, you're here in case number 19 CF 6952. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant where probable cause was previously found for the offense of robbery with a firearm. At this time, ma'am, I'm going to order that you're not to have any contact with Anthony Mitchum. You're not to possess any weapons or any firearms, and you're not to return to the Days Inn. You're not to have any contact with any potential co-defendants, and I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Ms. Bush, did you want to be heard with respect to bond?
Yes, Your Honor. The state would ask that Ms. Cintron be held at no bond, and the state would ask the court to take into consideration the sworn affidavit to issue the arrest warrant. And in that affidavit, there are identifiable witnesses. Those identifiable witnesses also identified Ms. Cintron as one of 2 people that participated in this act. And based on that, the state would ask the court to find that proof is evident or presumption is great that she is the person so identified and hold her at no bond in this matter. The state would also ask the court to take into consideration that she is out on bond in 2019 MM 1402 AO. At the time of this, as a matter of fact, there are facts contained in today's case that refer to that matter. And also that she has had a prior failure to appear as recently as March of this year.
Mr. Nguyen?
We'll defer to the court, Your Honor.
Okay. At this time, the state has met their burden to establish that there is proof evident or presumption great based upon the information contained in the sworn probable cause affidavit to issue the arrest warrant, including the video evidence. So bond at this time will remain at none. In 19 CF MM 1402, I'm revoking the bond in that case, and that will be set at none as well. Thank you. Good morning, ma'am. Your name?
Angelina Kramer.
Ma'am, you're here in case number 18 CF 6332. This is a violation of probation. Oh, she's not going to. The one for week? see like any new law. Ma'am, this is a violation of probation. I'm going to appoint the public defender for all of the cases. It states that you violated your probation by failing to report as required to probation on Friday, February 22nd at 9:30 a.m. It also alleges that you failed to obtain your probation office permission before you moved. You also have case number 18 CF 9476. It's a violation of probation. It also alleges in that case that you did not report to your probation officer as directed for the months of March and April. You also moved without obtaining permission. Those are the allegations, ma'am, at this time, and your bond is set at none. Okay, you'll see Judge Whitehead in the next 7 to 10 days.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor, we had a motion for Ms. Kramer as well.
Pardon me?
I think we had a motion for Ms. Kramer as well.
Is it on the add-on?
Yes.
Your Honor, we're going to withdraw the motion at this time.
Okay. Okay, thank you. You can just put in the minutes on this case. This was 19 MM 4048. The public defender withdrew the motion, so I'll just have court minutes reflecting that. Do you need this order? Sir, good morning. Your name?
Joseph Harrison.
Mr. Harrison, you were here in case number 19 CF 7402. You were arrested for resisting officer with violence and petty theft. And then in case number 19 CF 7401, you were arrested for grand theft 3rd degree. I find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you in both cases. Your bond in count 1 in 19 CF 7402 is $1,000. Actually, I misspoke. Ms. Bush, you're going to have to provide the supplemental report for count 1 resisting officer with violence. It states in the affidavit that please see Detective Chioda's supplemental reference to the resisting with violence, and there's no facts to support that count at this time.
Yes, Your Honor, the state would formally request 24 hours to provide the court with.
Okay. I'll grant that request. I'll leave the bond at $1,000 on that count. It'll be $250 on this count 2. And then 19 CF 7410 will be $150. Sir, you can't return to Home Depot. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
What was the bond on count 2?
$250.
And in 7401, the court said 100.
150.
What's the bond current? Is there a bond set on the first charge current?
It stayed at the 1,000.
The 1,000. Okay.
Right. Good morning, ma'am. Your name?
Laura Hathaway.
Ms. Hathaway, this is case number 18 CF 17385. You failed to appear for a plea hearing on May 3rd of 2019. At this time, your bond is currently set at none, and I will appoint the public defender if they weren't previously appointed.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Good morning. Are you Miss Jones?
Yes, I am.
Ms. Jones, you're here in case number 17 CF 11414. You failed to appear for case management conference on April 25th of this year. Your bond in that matter is currently set at none, ma'am. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you if they weren't previously appointed.
Okay.
Thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Christopher Keller.
Mr. Keller, this is 18 CF 8627. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant where probable cause was previously found for failing to report a name change or residence, or to update your driver's license, sir. At this time, your bond is going to be $1,500. And I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you, sir. You do have reporting requirements.
And, Your Honor, may the state just point out to the court that this is a second conviction for the same allegation?
What do you mean? Second conviction?
Yes, for failure to comply or report. This is a second.
This would be a second allegation.
This would be the second allegation. He has a prior conviction for the same crime.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, your name, sir?
Good morning, Radel Iggy.
Sir, this is case number 19 CF 7394. You were arrested for possession of cocaine, possession of ketamine, neglect of a child, possession of drug paraphernalia, and possession of cannabis less than 20 grams. I find probable cause for all of the offenses, sir. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in all your cases if they weren't already appointed.
Yes,
Count
ma'am.
1, your bond is going to be $1,000. Count 2, your bond is going to be $1,000. Count 3, your bond is going to be $3,000. Count 4, your bond will be $100, and count 5, your bond will be $100. I'm going to order that you're not to possess or consume any illegal drugs. You're to comply with any DCF investigations. Also 19 CF 4261, I'm revoking your bond in that matter at this time. That will be set at none. You have 18 CT 9536. You failed to appear for pretrial conference, and your bond in that matter is set at $500. Thank you, sir. Good morning, your name, sir? Mr. Lewis?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're here in case number 19 CF 7378. You were arrested for possession of cannabis with intent to sell or deliver, possession of tetrahydrocannabis, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you, sir. Your bond on count 1 will be $1,000. Count 2, $150. Count 3, $100. Thank you, sir.
Your Honor, may we have a no contact with co-defendant?
Yes, sir. Mr. Lewis, in addition, you're not to have any contact with your co-defendant, Shanara White. You understand?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
My name's Dean Mann.
Mr. Mann, this is case number 19 CF 7072. You were arrested for lewd and lascivious exhibition pursuant to a warrant where probable cause was previously found. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I'm going to order that you're not to have any contact with the alleged victim in this matter. You're not to enter any school properties. You're not to have any unsupervised contact with any children under the age of 18. You're not to possess any weapons or any firearms. And your bond will be $15,000, sir. Thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Daniel Medina.
Mr. Medina, this is 19 CF 6364. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant where probable cause was previously found for the offense of grand theft, 3rd degree. Sir, you can't have any contact with Samir Halim.
Excuse me?
You cannot have any contact with the victim in this case.
Okay.
And at this time, sir, I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you, and I'm going to release you on your own recognizance. You need to stay in contact with your attorney's office, make sure the clerk of the court has your correct address. That way you get notice of your court date. Otherwise, they'll issue a warrant for your arrest, sir. Okay? Thank you. Good morning. Your name, sir?
Omar Mosqueda.
Sir, you were arrested in 19 CF 7025 for failing to report within 30 days pursuant to a warrant where probable cause was previously found. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Your bond is $2,500, and you are to comply with all reporting requirements within 1 day of your release, sir. Okay? Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Norris?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Norris, this is 19 CF 5188. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause capias for the offense of worthless check of $150 or more. Your bond is a $1,600 cash bond.
Your Honor, you said 600?
1,600 cash bond. Mr. Norris, your affidavit seeking the assistance of the public defender states that you have an income of $60,000 per year. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you don't have any children or family members that you take care of?
No.
Okay.
All
So you're,
grown.
you're going to have to hire a lawyer to help you with this case, sir, okay? You don't qualify for the public defender. All right, so when you're released from jail, you'll need to contact some attorneys and see if they can help you, okay? All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good morning, Ms. Preston.
Good morning.
Ma'am, you're here in case number 17 CF 6808. You failed to appear for a status hearing on April 6th of 2018. Ma'am, were you going to hire an attorney to help you, or do you want to see if you qualify for the public defender?
The public defender.
Okay. Okay. It looks like they were previously appointed on your case, ma'am. Check something. right, thank you, ma'am. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Diopasar Ramdial.
Sir, this is case number 19 CF 7369. You were arrested for first-degree murder with a weapon. I do find probable cause for that offense. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you, sir. Ms. Bush, did you want to be heard with respect to bond?
Yes, Your Honor. The state would ask that the court continue to hold Mr. Ramdial at no bond. The state would ask the court to find proof evident or presumption is great based on the arrest affidavit, which is a sworn document which has identifiable witnesses in it, and those witnesses do know Mr. Ramdial, and those witnesses do provide facts that would lead to the conclusion that Mr. Ramdial at that time would lead to the allegations that he committed the crime of stabbing his father.
Mr. Wynn?
Your Honor, at this time, we're going to defer to the court.
The state has met their burden to establish that there is proof evident presumption grade based upon the information that is contained within the probable cause arrest affidavit. At this time, bond will remain at none. I'm going to also order that he's not to possess any weapons or any firearms.
And Your Honor, may we have a no contact with witnesses?
Yes, I'll order that you're not to have any contact with Zanat Hack. Thank you. Good morning, your name?
Carmelo Santiago.
Sir, you're here in case number 19 CF 7389. You were arrested for for retail theft greater than $300. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Your bond will be $1,000 and you're not to return to the Home Depot at 7022 West Colonial Drive. In case number 18 MM 8885, you failed to appear for arraignment on December 5th of 2018, and your bond in that matter is $2,000. Thank you, sir. Good morning, your name, sir?
Chris Gunmaker.
Pardon me?
Chris Gunmaker.
Did you say Shoemaker?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have an accent?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That just took me a minute. It's 19 CF 7114, sir. You are here pursuant to a warrant where probable cause was previously found for failing to report address change with the Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles. Your bond at this time is $4,000, and you need to comply with any reporting requirements within 1 business day of your release, sir.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
The bond was $1,000, Your Honor.
4,000. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Kenneth Lee Davis, Jr.
Mr. Davis, you're here in case number 19MO997. You're here for open container. I find probable cause, and I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Was there an offer for Mr. Davis?
Yes, Your Honor. It's an adjudication of guilt, 4 days Orange County Jail, 2 days credit time served, and the state is making that offer with the knowledge that he's out on release.
All right. Mr. Davis, did you want to accept the offer?
Yes.
Okay. Sign the plea form, please.
Public defender appointed, Your Honor.
Yes. Thank you. Mr. Davis, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
No, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you are not a United States citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, ma'am.
Okay. I'll accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 4 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. You're going to have to pay court costs. Those need to be paid by May 23rd of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing. 19 CF 5607. I'll take no action on that case at this time, sir. Okay, thank you. Is Miss Key not coming? She refused? Okay. All right, well, let's reset Miss Key. Good morning, sir. Your name?
Ryan Mang.
Mr. Main, you are here in case number 19 MM4350. You were arrested for obstruction by false information, possession of drug paraphernalia, and resisting officer without violence. I find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you, sir. Is there an offer for Mr. Main?
Yes, Your Honor. It would be an adjudication of guilt, 30 days, 2 days credit time served. And it was paraphernalia. 2 days credit time served, Your Honor.
Oh, I see that. That's right. Okay, so Mr. Main, you're not going to want to resolve your case today given that you're on probation. And I'll say the bond on each count. 500 count 1, 100 count 2, 100 count 3. All right, thank you. Good morning, ma'am. Your name? Ma'am, what's your name?
Oh, Tonya Norberto.
Okay, Ms. Norberto. This is case number 19MM4344. You were arrested for trespass on property after warning and resisting officer without violence. I find probable cause Did you want to hire an attorney to help you, ma'am, or do you want to see if you qualify for the public defender?
I'm not guilty, but I don't know how I got here this morning because I shouldn't have been arrested. I was in the ladies' room.
Ma'am, okay, you don't have to resolve your case today. I don't want you to talk about the facts of your case because everything is recorded and you haven't had an opportunity to speak with a lawyer and this could all be used
I haven't had
against
an
you later.
opportunity to make a phone call, so I need to find out.
Okay, I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you, ma'am. Your bond on count 1 is $500. Your bond on count 2 will be $100, okay? Thank you. Good morning, sir. Your name?
Theodore Wallace.
Mr. Wallace, you're here in case number 19MM248. You were arrested for trespassing on school grounds. I do find probable cause. Ms. Bush, is there an offer for Mr. Wallace?
Yes, Your Honor. It's an adjudication of guilt, 7 days Orange County Jail, 2 days credit time served, no return to the school in this matter, and no return to any Orange County public school property. Abide by all trespass warnings.
Mr. Wallace, do you want an attorney to help you with this case? Mr. Wallace, if you want to enter a plea to the court this morning, you can do that as well.
All right.
Would you like to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, sign the plea form, please. Mr. Wallace, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
No, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No.
Do you understand if you're not a United States citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, ma'am.
All right, sir, I'm going to accept your plea. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty. I'm going to sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. Sir, you can go back to the school at 100 Kennedy Boulevard. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And I know that they check there a lot. So you can't go back to that school, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Good morning, your name?
Jordan Jenkins.
Mr. Jenkins, you're here for an out-of-county warrant from Seminole County for a violation of probation related to a burglary of a conveyance and grand theft. Your bond is $10,000. If you are unable to post that bond, sir, Seminole County will come pick you up and you'll see a judge when you get to first appearance. All right, thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Good morning. Orlando Padilla.
Mr. Padilla, you're here for an out-of-county warrant out of Seminole County for violation of probation related to petty theft. This is a no bond warrant, sir. Seminole County will come pick you up and you will see a judge when you get there.
Seminole or
I'm
Osceola?
sorry, I misspoke. Osceola. Thank
So
you.
no bond?
We don't have one. You'll see a judge in Osceola County when you get there, though.
He has a reporting requirement hold. Would you want that to be released so he can go over to Seminole? Seminole?
Yes. So he was arrested and brought here, and then they already came and got him on something else? Oh, okay. All right, so then.
He just has a reporting requirement hold, Your Honor.
So how do I just release the hold?
Yeah, you can release the hold, Your Honor.
Okay, then we'll release the hold so that he can go to Seminole County. What about Mr. Delk?
We're still working on it.
Okay, if not, we can see him this afternoon, I guess.
Yes.
Sir, good morning, your name?
Arthur Manning.
Mr. Manning, it looks like you're here for a determination of counsel hearing to have the Office of the Public Defender appointed. But based upon the affidavit that you completed, you don't qualify. It says you make $2,800 a month, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so is that after taxes or before?
Well, I get paid under the table. I make $150 a day. I work with a contractor, Don Owens.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you only have one dependent?
Well, right now I'm on the edge of losing it.
How long have you been in the jail?
6 days. My bond was a little high. I think it was like 900. If I was able to get a reduction, I could
much was
get
your
out.
bond?
I think it was 9,900 or something like that. I talked with my boss and everything.
1,500 total.
He couldn't. How much?
1,500, 1,500.
Oh. So what did that get me out?
Well, sir, I can't address your bond issue today.
Okay.
I don't know what the case number is actually. But there. So, Mr. Manning, you're gonna have to have your lawyer file a bond motion for you in the trial court.
Okay.
And you have that heard there.
Okay.
But based upon the fact that you haven't been able to work.
Yes.
And it doesn't look like you're able to afford your bond based on your testimony, I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you.
Okay.
And they can file any appropriate motions.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you, sir. Ms. Bush, just let me know whenever you're ready on the 33 days.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sure.
And the state's ready, Your Honor.
Okay. Um, 19 CF 4279 Robert Lewis.
A notice of non-filing was filed on April 26.
On April 26th?
I'm sorry?
Did you say April, on April 26th?
April 26.
Okay, that will be granted. 19 CF 5642 Miles Pennant.
There was a notice of cancellation filed by defense counsel canceling this hearing, Your Honor.
Okay.
And that was filed yesterday.
Was it transferred to, oh wait, this is the right case. Okay. Then I'll take no action on the motion. Nineteen CF 5628 Danielle McMillan.
A request for administrative transfer from circuit court to county court, and a misdemeanor information clocked-in copy was provided to defense counsel this morning.
That will be denied. 19 CF 3590 Nathaniel Graham.
A notice of non-filing was filed.
That'll be granted. 19 CF 4234 Reuben Curtis.
A notice of non-filing on May 22nd.
That'll be granted. 19 CF 5446 Christopher Denson.
An information was filed on 5/23. Filing ID is 89993782.
That will be denied. 19 CF 5630 Sherelle Henry.
A notice of non-filing was filed on 5/22.
That will be granted. 19 CF 4839 Joseph Scarvelli.
A notice of non-filing was filed on 5/22.
That'll be granted. In 19 CF 5616 Vasily Florianovich.
A notice of non-filing on 5/22.
That'll be granted.
Your Honor, Mr. Delicacy.
Oh, great, okay. Good morning, Mr. Delk.
Good morning.
This is case number 19-CO594. You were arrested for soliciting without a permit. There's probable cause. Is there an offer for Mr. Delk?
Yes, Your Honor, it's an adjudication of guilt, 4 days Orange County Jail, 2 days credit time served, and court costs.
Mr. Delk, did you want to accept the offer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I just need you to sign the plea form, please.
Okay.
Your Honor, will we appointed? Was the public defenders appointed, Your Honor?
You were not.
Okay.
What about the case that he has the notice to appear on? Can we take care of that while he's here?
Your Honor, if I may have the case number.
It doesn't have that, but let me see.
I'll try and find it under
Me
his
too,
name.
just one second. Well, Mr. Delk, the police report indicates that you have another soliciting without a permit case that's pending that you were given a notice to appear for. Would you want to try and take care of that case today if we're able to?
I didn't know about that, but yes, ma'am, if we
Okay.
could, yeah.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, as it is a county ordinance, there has to be a letter and certification from the engineers, and we file informations on these cases.
I thought we didn't need to have an information on an MO or a CO.
We actually do on the COs, and because we have to have that certification from the engineers.
Who's in, what, I don't understand engineer.
We actually file informations on the COs.
Yeah, well, but what is
Even
an,
though they're noticed to appears,
okay,
we get a letter certifying from the engineers, the road engineers, and also from the county government that there is no permit and that this is an area that is designated for no solicitation without a permit.
sounds like that. Well, Mr. Delk, I'm gonna follow up on that, but I won't be able to resolve that other case for you today, but we can still take care of the case that you're here for this morning, okay?
Okay.
All right. Did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have
I
any
did.
questions about any of the rights you're giving up?
No, ma'am.
All right, sir. Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Go ahead.
I'd just like to say Saturday, I'm supposed to pick up a check
Okay.
that's very important to my getting off the street and getting I mean, I know this is unusual, but if I'm here 4 days, I'll miss getting that. And I have a P.O. box, and they only come on Saturday.
Okay.
That would make me have to go next Saturday, and it would mess up.
I understand.
Well,
I believe he would be released tomorrow, Your Honor.
Will he?
that'd be fine.
Okay.
That would be great.
All right,
Thank
Mr.
you
Dell.
so much.
No problem. Sir, do you understand that if you're not a United States citizen, that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, ma'am.
All right, I'll accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 4 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. I know that seems like odd math, but you will get out tomorrow.
Fantastic.
Okay?
Okay.
You'll have to pay court costs. Those need to be paid by May 23rd of 2020.
Okay.
And you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing.
Okay.
All right? Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right. Anything else? No? Mr. Nguyen?
I have nothing, Your Honor.
We'll be in recess then. Carter, this is courtroom 1, session 2. Could I have the attorneys place their appearances on the record, please?
Good afternoon, Edith Bush for the Office of the State Attorney.
Thank you.
Brian Nguyen with the Office of Public Defender.
Thank you.
Travis Alston is Melvin.
Okay, we'll reset Mr. Alston for tomorrow. Sir, good afternoon. Your name?
Jonathan Paul Sherapata, ma'am.
Sir, this is 19 CF 7017. You were arrested for grand theft, 3rd degree, pursuant to a warrant where probable cause was previously found, sir. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Your bond is $1,000. You're not to return to the Bolé restaurant at 12711 Narcousie Road, and you're not to have any contact with any of the witnesses in this case. Thank
Your
you,
Honor,
sir.
is it possible for him to get a printout of the warrant affidavit? I don't think he's been provided one. Or from,
Romaine, would you be able to post for his, the affidavit for the warrant? Okay, we'll get him a copy, just 1 second.
okay.
Do you want to approach? Or, thank you for Officer Haddock. All right. There you go, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
Jeremiah Hutto.
Mr. Hutto, this is case number 19 CF 7395. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant where probable cause was previously found for the offense of petty theft with 2 prior convictions. Your bond is $1,000, and you're not to return to the Circle K at 14490 West Colonial Drive. Mr. Win, I see that there's another affidavit here that's 19 CF 7416 with petty theft 2 priors, but there are no facts in the affidavit to establish that. It's almost just like the narrative of the arrest for the warrant.
And Your Honor, that is what, if I may have just 1 second to confirm, the arrest affidavit is just the arrest on the warrant, as best as I can tell.
Okay, so they just created a case number for that
Yes, Your Honor.
arrest?
That's what it appears to me, based on what's contained in the narrative. It refers to the warrant case number of 2019 CF 7395.
Right. Okay,
And
I'm just gonna ROR him on that case, and then the state attorney's office, I'm sure, will take care of the procedural issue with regard to the actual case and case number.
And on the warrant, you're staying the bond at 1,000?
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Hutto. You good, Mr. Hutto?
Ms. Carter,
Yes.
I don't understand the Circle K thing. Is there any way I can get RR'd on that?
Not today. You'll have to have your attorney file a motion for that, sir, okay?
Okay,
All right,
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
Starkey Jones.
Mr. Jones, this is 19 CF 7415. You were arrested for possession of cocaine. I do find probable cause for the offense. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. And your bond is $1,000, sir. Thank you. Good afternoon. Your name, sir?
Jason Sinkfield.
Mr. Sinkofeld, this is 18 CF 17435. You were arrested because you failed to appear for a status hearing on May 6th of 2019.
Excuse me, if you don't mind, I could talk, if no problem.
Oh, I don't want you to talk about the facts of your case in any way.
I'm not, I'm gonna talk about my case.
Okay.
Okay, if you look in your documents, you can see I've been to court constantly. You can see I've been going to every court date. The last time I went to my court, they told me it was canceled. So if you look on clerk of court, it shows that it's canceled. That's why and then my next court date was on June 4th and June 17th. If you look in the system, it says June 4th and June 17th. I just went to court. And if you look in your documents, I've been going every single court date. Every single court date. So I don't know how I had a warrant on it. When I went there, they told me it was canceled. I got all my documents. That's how I found I got court on June 4th and June 17th. I got pre-trial June 4th, and I got trial June 17th. I went there, they gave me my documents, they told me that I don't have court. You know, when I looked at my documents, it said June. It didn't say nothing about no May. When I did go in May, they told me that was canceled. And then when I look on clerk of court too, it says canceled on there too. So I don't know where it went wrong, because on clerk of court it says that. When you look up my name.
Give me a minute to take a look at it, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Can you let them know?
Were you at court on April 30th?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I went to court. I was going to court the whole time. Now I'm trying to figure out where did I go wrong at. Because when I went to court, they told me June 4th. It shows June 4th and it shows June 17th. That's my trial date. My May, they told me that they canceled that. It shows canceled. That's why I was trying to figure out when the police ran my name, I had a warrant. So I was trying to figure out why did I have that warrant when it shows on clerk of court, owner.com and everything else that it's canceled.
I see it. They continued it on the 30th. Mr. Single, that's not reflected in the court minutes on April 30th. So and I'm not saying that you're not being truthful, so please don't
okay.
take it that way. It's just that it's not in the court minutes, and
They don't show nothing about no
Judge
counsel.
Traver is who issued the capias. And so,
They don't show nothing about no counsel court date.
no, the minutes for the 30th, April 30th says, it just says await the trial, the motion to grant, the motion for continuance is granted. You're to appear at all status hearings.
I went,
Yeah.
because I never missed no court date. And
Your
that-
Honor,
Yes.
our record is showing that there was a status hearing set for May 6th as well. I don't know if that's showing there or not.
And that looks like that's the date that he failed to appear for.
Right, that's what but I think the issue is that Mr. Sinkelfeld is saying that when he went on the 30th, it was canceled for the 6th. Mr. Sinkelfeld, you're gonna have to take that up with Judge Traver, because he's the one who issued the capias, and he's on that. I'm not legally allowed to change his capias. There may have been some sort of miscommunication, which I know that he'll hear and allow you to, address him with respect to that, but just contact your attorney right away and have them file a motion, and I know he'll get you in to see him quickly.
do you know the next time I go to court?
It doesn't, it says off the docket, so when you failed to appear on the 6th, they took it off the docket.
I never-
So there must have been some sort of miscommunication, sir, so make sure that you get in there and explain that to him, okay?
I'm sorry, can you repeat?
Sure, I just said, you'll just have to present that to him. I don't see anything else with a new court date or anything like that, okay? All right, sir, thank you. Oh, sir, who represents you?
The thing is, though, I never met my attorney yet. I never met who's defending me, nothing.
It looks like a Mark Consolo.
Mark Consolo is your lawyer.
Is that PD?
No.
Okay, so he's privately.
Just a second, Mr. Sinkelfeld. Just give me a second.
Yes, ma'am.
You've never met him before?
No, ma'am. Because they kept on switching them up. Every time I went to court, they switched them up.
So. It is regional conflict? Okay. In order to withdraw Mark? So now who does he have? I can't, because if the PD, that's how he would have gotten this guy, is the PD would have said that they had a conflict. move this motion to withdraw. So, Mr. Singh, who was with you in court on the 30th?
I went, when I did go, nobody then, I sat down. They had me sit down just on the benches, and they ran my name, and they spoke. But the thing is, though, I guess since it's with someone else, and I guess it's combining together, they keep on moving PD's attorneys, they keep on moving them away from me.
Right.
So I don't know who's is who, because last time I went before April 30th, I had somebody else. Okay, I went again.
Right.
I found I had somebody else.
But you went to court on the 30th.
Yes.
You didn't speak to any lawyer on the 30th?
I didn't speak to, the thing is though, I didn't speak to nobody. I sat in the benches, they called my name. When I tried to get up, somebody told me to sit down. And then from there, the judge knew I was there.
Yeah.
But somebody had spoke, but then again, it was like, we can appoint this, but it wasn't who y'all just said it was. Mark, whoever it is, it wasn't him. It was somebody else.
Okay, let me just keep looking for a second. Because it's not fair for me to tell you to have your lawyer file a motion when you don't even know who that is. Order. Okay, so it is, Mark is the lawyer. That's the last person who, he entered a notice of appearance on your behalf on April 15th, so 15 days before your last court date.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give this to Mr. Sinkefeld. This is your attorney's name and his phone number.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, sir. Thank you. Good afternoon, ma'am. Your name?
Melissa Vasquez.
Ms. Vasquez, you are here in case number 19 CF 7418. You were arrested for grand theft, 3rd degree. I find probable cause. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Ma'am, you can't return to the Payless at 2764 East Colonial Drive. And your bond will be $500, ma'am.
500.
Thank you.
Your Honor, yes.
All right. This is also 19 CF 7417. It's for grand theft as well. For Bath and Body Works, ma'am, you can't return to the Bath and Body Works. There is probable cause for grand theft, and I'll also set your bond in that case at $500.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. We'll talk to him tomorrow. Sir, good afternoon. Your name?
Brian Demetrius Lane.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, John Hood with behavior.
Okay. We'll reset Mr. Hood. What about, Stewart, Mandel Stewart?
Mandel Stewart is in the hospital.
All right, we'll reset him as well. Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
Brian Demetrius Lane.
Mr. Lane, you are here in case number 19MM4353. You were arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause, and I will appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. I'm going to set your bond at $100 in that case, sir. You also have a on-view violation of probation out of Marion County. Based upon the facts in this case, sir, I do find probable cause for the violation of probation. Your bond on that will be set at none. And case number 19MM3817, I'm going to revoke the bond in that case, and that will also be set at none. Thank you.
Ma'am, I would like to ask the state if I could settle this paraphernalia charge today and plea out to that to get this over with so I can get Marion County to come on pick me up. Because my other lawyer advised me that Marion County won't come pick me up until this case here is resolved. So I'd like to resolve this today if I can on this paraphernalia.
But you know that the Marion County case is a violation of...
Yes, ma'am, I do. Yes,
So you
ma'am.
know you'll violate your probation?
Yes, ma'am, I have no problem with that because if I let this case stay open, I'm going to be sitting here 5 or 6 months fighting this case anyway, so I can have my violation completed by then. So I'd like to get this over with today if I can. But it's a misdemeanor paraphernalia, and I can get it over with today. Marion County has 5 business days to come pick.
I mean,
Yes, but they still will come pick me up, sir.
Mr. Lane,
I'm gonna be sitting in jail anyway, I'm saying, so I'd rather sit in Marion County jail and go ahead and get it over with.
so if he didn't have an Orange County hold, and even if he's no bound on the Marion County on-view VOP, then they'll come get him? Okay, but for example, if the out on bond was not revoked and he was ROR'd on the paraphernalia, then Marion County will come pick him up? Yes. He won't be leaving on his own?
He does have a 5-day hold though for probation. Well, I don't know when that might be. clear,
Right, but
we
with the
have
on-view,
probation.
it's already gonna attach, right? So because there's a no bond on that, he has to go to Marion County. Okay, so that's what I'll do then. I'm not gonna take any action on 19MM3817, and I'm gonna ROR you on the paraphernalia charge. So they won't be resolved, so you will have those outstanding cases, but you can go to Marion County and take care of your VOP.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, sir.
So is my other bond revoked, or, okay, so thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you,
right.
sir.
That's okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sir, good afternoon. Your name?
Brandon Wallace.
Mr. Wallace, this is 19 MM 4356. You were arrested for exposure of sexual organs, trespass in an occupied structure, refusal to leave, disorderly intoxication, and resisting officer without violence. Mr. Nguyen.
Yes, Your Honor. With regards to the trespass, occupied structure, refusal to leave, at the time of the incident, he was leaving the area where he was asked to leave when the other alleged incidents occur. Based on the fact that he was leaving, there was no refusal there. He was leaving the site. So we would ask that no probable cause be found on the trespass of an occupied structure, and he'd be ROR'd on that charge.
Ms. Bush?
Yes, Your Honor. There are multiple instances in the affidavit where he stumbled away, he stopped, he re-engaged employees in law enforcement, stumbled away, stopped, re-engaged, then exposed himself and told everyone present what they could do with his body part.
Yes. Okay. Mr. Nguyen, I do think that there is probable cause based upon the facts in the affidavit.
Okay.
So, and I do find probable cause for all 4 counts. And I'll appoint the public defender's office. Was there an offer for Mr. Wallace?
Yes, Your Honor. It's an adjudication of guilt, 7 days Orange County Jail, 1 day credit time served, no return to the Knights Library on University Boulevard, and abide by all trespass warnings.
Mr. Wallace, did you want to accept the offer from the state?
I would like to ask is it possible to turn myself in after the weekend? My little sister's graduation is tomorrow. And I also have family in for my birthday this weekend. Is that a possibility to turn myself in on Monday just so I don't cause them any problems? Or would I have to do this 7 days as of today?
Well, how come he didn't qualify for PTR?
I think he was not interviewed. He was in safe book. It would have to be a bond, or we could see if
Mr.
it
Wallace,
would
can
be
you
possible.
post a bond?
I can.
You can't?
I had my debit card on me, although the officers gave all my jewelry and my shoes and my wallet to my friends at the time.
Yeah.
I don't recall the situation at all. I have zero recollection of last night. I don't know why they wouldn't give me my money. So
So you can
I
call
do
your friends
have
to bond you out?
I do have money and someone that's probably bonding me out right now, but I don't have it on me.
Yeah, I understand. But based on what you say in his criminal history, that wouldn't disqualify him, and then he just needs to...
He actually was interviewed, Your Honor. We
Oh.
weren't able to qualify him.
Why?
Unable to reach any contacts to verify any community ties, and I guess because of the charges and prior history.
Mr. Wallace, you live here in Orlando?
Yes,
Okay. How long have you lived here?
17 years.
Your Honor, is the court saying in the Orlando area because his address is listed in St. Cloud?
Well, yeah, I would consider that local.
That is also an old address that hasn't been updated in the system here. I do live in Belle Isle, Florida.
Okay. So if the defendant tells you that they live here, you have to have someone that confirms that for you? Is that how that works?
Yeah, we verify the community ties by either looking at his David or reaching out to family members, things like that.
So if they give you an address and then it doesn't match their David, then that is...
If we're not, we do a couple different ways to try to verify things, and if we're unable to, then yeah,
Okay.
we wouldn't typically qualify.
I can assure you of zero flight risk. I'm not going anywhere.
But I can have him, I could do like a alcohol and drug testing through PTR without him being on PTR, right?
Yes, yes.
All right. All right, Mr. Wallace, I'm gonna release you ROR as to each count. However, I'm gonna order that you're not allowed to return to the university, the Knights Library. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal substances while you're out. And you are to, you're gonna be tested by the pretrial release program, okay?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Bond court is a free service, but it takes several hours of my time every day. Less than 10% of Bond court viewers hit the like button, and less than 1% leave a comment. If you want Bond court to continue to be available on YouTube for free, then please hit the like button and leave a comment on all of my videos.
You are here for an initial appearance after detention. The rules of criminal procedure require that you be brought before a judicial officer within 24 hours of your arrest. The purpose of the initial appearance is to have a judge list the charges against you, inform you of certain rights that you have, and to determine the conditions of your release. You should have already received a copy of these charges. The judge will review your paperwork to determine if there was probable cause to arrest you. If the judge finds probable cause, he or she will then determine if you qualify for bond and what the monetary and non-monetary conditions of your bond should be. If the judge does not have enough information to make a probable cause determination for your arrest, the state may be given additional time to amend the paperwork. You should also be aware of the following rights afforded to you by the Constitution. You are not required to say anything at this proceeding. Anything you say can be used against you. You have the right to communicate with counsel, family, or friends, and if necessary, you will be provided a reasonable means to do so. You have the right to counsel. If you have not already retained counsel and cannot afford counsel, the judge will appoint you a public defender. For the purposes of today's initial appearance proceedings, you may be able to briefly speak with a public defender regardless of whether the public defender is appointed for you. In order to have an attorney appointed by the court to represent you, you must be financially eligible, as determined by the court based on financial information you provide. Therefore, if you have not already done so, please complete, to the best of your knowledge, the financial affidavits provided by the correction officers. An application fee for the services of appointed counsel will be assessed. If you do not speak English or Spanish, please let a corrections officer know. When the judge is ready, she or he will begin calling your case by name. Please listen carefully for your name. When called, please approach the microphone as directed by the corrections officers. Thank you.
Usted se encuentra aquí para una audiencia o vista preliminaria, después de haber sido arrestado. Las leyes y estatutos criminales del estado de la Florida requieren que se celebre una vista preliminaria ante un oficial judicial dentro de un plazo de 24 horas después de su arresto. El propósito de esta vista preliminaria es para que el juez pronuncie los cargos contra usted, para que se les comunique a usted sus derechos procesales y para determinar las condiciones de su libertad o fianza. Ya usted debería haber recibido una copia de estas alegaciones o acusaciones por escrito. Ahora, el juez revisará la documentación en su caso para determinar si existe motivo fundado o causa probable para su arresto y detención. Si el juez determina que existe causa probable o motivo fundado, entonces decidirá si usted califica para que se le otorgue una fianza, tanto como cuáles serían las condiciones monetarias o no monetarias de dicha fianza. Si el juez no posee suficiente información para determinar si existe causa probable o motivo fundado para justificar el arresto, se le concederá a la Fiscalía tiempo adicional para modificar la documentación. También se les avisa que posee los siguientes derechos que se les otorgan por la Constitución. A usted no se le puede obligar a decir nada durante esta vista. Cualquier cosa que diga podrá ser utilizada en su contra como evidencia. Usted tiene el derecho de comunicarse con un abogado, pariente o amigo, y si es necesario, que se les proporcione los medios razonables y disponibles para hacerlo. Usted tiene el derecho a un abogado. Si todavía no ha encontrado o contratado un abogado y no tiene los recursos para hacerlos, entonces el juez le nombrará un defensor público. Para el propósito de la audiencia preliminaria de hoy, se le permitirá hablar brevemente con un abogado de la Oficina del Defensor Público, aun cuando no se le haya nombrado para representarle en todo el caso. Para poder recibir la designación de un abogado, primero debe calificar económicamente según lo determine el juez. Esto será basado en la información financiera que usted proporcione aquí. Por lo tanto, si no lo ha hecho todavía de la mejor manera posible, por favor, llene el formulario de insolvencia económica que se le ha proporcionado por el oficial de correcciones. Se le impondrá un recargo o costo por los servicios del defensor público. Si usted no habla inglés, por favor, hágale saber al oficial de correcciones. Cuando esté listo, el juez comenzará el proceso llamando a cada una persona y caso por su nombre. Por favor, esté pendiente para pasar adelante cuando escuche su nombre y cuando escuche su nombre, haga el favor de acercarse al micrófono, tal como le indique el oficial de correcciones. Muchas gracias por su atención.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. All right, I'm Judge Gabrielle Sanders. I'm going to be handling initial appearances today. My job is going to be looking at the affidavit that's been given to me, and I'm going to determine if there's probable cause or not. I will also determine bond. If I set a bond or I set no bond, and if you have an attorney, that attorney can take up the bond that I've issued with the judge that's actually assigned on that case. Today is not the day for you to tell me about your case. It is not the day to challenge the affidavit or the bonds. If you hear that I say no contact with your co-defendants or witnesses or victims, that is exactly what I mean. No direct or indirect or third-party contact. No emails, texting, direct messages on Instagram or anything like that. If you do make contact, that will be a violation of my court order, and you'll be coming back in front of me. And we certainly don't want that. Before we begin, if I can have the representative from the Public Defender's Office, please state your name.
Janine Marie Yancey, Assistant Public Defender.
All right, state.
Brooke Rapchick for the state. Crystal Allen for the state.
PTR.
Officer Pat Hill on behalf of PTR.
I'm Mr. Mayor, certified federal interpreter already sworn.
All right, thank you. And can we please have Edward Gonzalez?
Edward Gonzalez, pase al frente.
Public Defender approved.
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Gonzalez.
Buenas tardes, señor González. Good afternoon.
I've reviewed the affidavit for battery domestic violence.
He revisado la declaración jurada de agresión en violencia doméstica.
I do find probable cause for your arrest.
He encontrado causa probable para su arresto.
Your bond will be set at $500.
La fianza va a ser $500.
This is going to be with PTR.
Con condiciones de libertad anterior a juicio.
The conditions of your release would be not to have any contact with Magdalia Sierra Rivera.
Las condiciones de su libertad van a ser que no puede tener ninguna clase de contacto con Migdalia Sierra Rivera.
You're not to return to 1406 Amberwood Boulevard.
No puede regresar al 1406 de Amberwood Boulevard.
If you have any personal property there, I will give you a one-time assistance with law enforcement.
Si usted tiene alguna propiedad personal allí, le voy a permitir que regrese una sola ocasión acompañado por la policía.
You are also not to possess any weapons or firearms.
Y no puede poseer ninguna arma de fuego ni otra arma peligrosa.
Any other conditions, PTR?
No, Your Honor.
All right, state.
No hay ninguna condición de libertad anterior a juicio.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Y nada de parte de la fiscalía, así que eso es todo. Muchas gracias.
Your Honor, do we have the next court date?
Next court date's May 30th. They're still in jail June 24th, 8:30, courtroom 5B if out.
La próxima cita en el tribunal va a ser el 30 de mayo si todavía está en la cárcel o el 24 de junio a las 8:30 de la mañana en la sala 5B si ya salió.
Thank you.
Eso es todo, gracias.
Ramon Melendez.
Public defender approved.
All right, Mr. Melendez, I've reviewed the arrest affidavit in regards to fleeing and attempting elude with lights and sirens activated.
Le he revisado entonces la declaración de la policía en cuanto a intento de fuga con un vehículo de la policía que tenía encendidos sus luces y su sirena.
I do find probable cause for the arrest.
He encontrado causa probable para el arresto.
Your bond's going to be set at $1,000.
La fianza va a ser $1,000.
Any condition, state or PTR?
Le pregunto al Estado o a Fiscalía si tienen alguna condición.
Nothing from Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Nada de la Fiscalía ni de la Oficina de Antelación a Juicio.
Next court date's on demand.
La próxima fecha en el tribunal va a ser cuando se solicite. Eso es todo.
Thank you.
Raymond Novoa Allende.
Ramón Novoa Allende, pasa al frente.
Public defender approved.
Mr. Allende, I'm looking at an affidavit for a violation of probation.
Estoy viendo aquí una declaración jurada que lo acusa de violación de probatoria.
This is in case number 2018 CF 448.
Es en el caso 18 CF 448.
Your bond is set at $0.
La fianza es 0, no hay fianza.
Thank you.
Gracias, eso es todo.
Next court date's May 29th, 8:45, courtroom 5A.
Tu próxima cita en el tribunal va a ser el 29 de mayo a las 8:45 en la sala 5A.
Omar Rivera Marcano.
Defender approved.
Omar Rivera Marcano.
Sir, I have reviewed the affidavit in case number 2019 MM 1939.
He revisado la declaración jurada del caso 19 MM 1939.
It's in regards to a violation of pretrial release.
Es por violación de las condiciones de libertad anterior a juicio.
I have reviewed the affidavit.
Y he revisado la declaración jurada.
I do find probable cause.
He encontrado causa probable.
Your bond is going to be set at $5,000.
La fianza va a ser $5,000.
I'm going to order that you have no contact with the victim, which is Lourdes Padilla,
Voy a ordenar que no puede tener contacto alguno con la víctima, que es Lourdes Padilla,
as well as the children in this particular case.
así como los menores que hay en este caso en particular.
You're not to return to the residence,
No puedes regresar a la residencia,
which is 924 Determination Way.
que es el 924 de Determination Road.
You're not to have any firearms or weapons.
No puede tener ni armas de fuego ni ninguna otra arma peligrosa.
You were out on bond on 2019 CF 1282.
Usted está bajo fianza en el 19 CF 1282.
Because of this new offense, I'm going to revoke your bond. Your bond's going to be set at $0.
Pero debido a este nuevo delito, la fianza va a ser revocada, o sea que la fianza va a ser 0.
Thank you.
Gracias, eso es todo.
Next court date's May 30th, if still in jail, July 1st, 8:15, courtroom 4A if out.
Tu próxima cita en el tribunal va a ser el 30 de mayo si todavía estás en la cárcel o el día 1 de julio a las 8:15 de la mañana en la sala 4A si saliste bajo fianza.
Melvin Scott.
Can we verify if there's anybody else who needs an interpreter?
Absolutely.
¿Hay alguien más que va a necesitar los servicios de intérprete? Por favor, levante la mano.
Per my notes, I have 2 more.
You have 2 more? All right.
Scott, you need
Mr. Scott, have a seat for me. We'll get back to you. All right. Who's your 2?
Virela Colón. ¿Quién va a necesitar el intérprete? Y Coto. ¿Cómo que se llama? Ven. Your Honor, this is Francis Varela Colon.
Okay. Ms. Varela Colon, I have an affidavit for failure to appear on written promise.
Tengo aquí una declaración jurada por no haber comparecido al tribunal luego de haber prometido por escrito.
This is in regards to 2018 CT 1638.
Eso es en el caso 18 CT 1638.
Your bond is already set at $2,000.
Ya la fianza se puso en $2,000.
Next court dates, May 30th if still in jail, July 1st, 8:15, courtroom 4A if out.
Tu próxima cita en el tribunal va a ser el 30 de mayo si todavía estás en la cárcel o el 1 de julio a las 8:15 de la mañana en la sala 4A si saliste bajo fianza.
Public defender was approved.
Y se aprobó el defensor público.
Who's your next one? I know you said you had two.
Last name Cotto, Your Honor.
Cotto. All right. Danny?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Danny Cotto.
Public defender approved.
Sir, I also have an affidavit in regards to 2019 CF 1254.
Tengo aquí una declaración jurada referente al caso 19 CF 1254.
This is a failure to appear on a written promise.
Eso es por no haber comparecido al tribunal después de una promesa por escrito.
Your bond is set at $4,999.
La fianza son $4,999.
Next court dates, May 29th, 8:15, courtroom 5F.
Tu próxima cita en el tribunal va a ser el 29 de mayo a las 8:15 de la mañana en la sala 5F.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Is that all?
¿Alguien más necesita servicio de intérprete? Levanten la mano.
¿Alguien más? That appears to be it, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
Have a good day.
You too.
All right. Mr. Scott?
Said he's hiring a private attorney.
Mr. Scott, are you going to be hiring your own attorney? All right. I have two cases in front of me. Your first case is 2019 MM1940. It is a violation of PTR, domestic violence. I did review the affidavit. I do find probable cause. Ms. Allen, are you here on this case?
I am, Your Honor. I was going to be asking that the court revoke the defendant's bond on his other pending case.
On the CF case?
Yes, Your Honor. In 2018, CF 1556, based on the contact that's alleged in his new offense, it is the same victim that is the listed victim in that case.
All right. Can I have that case
2018 CF 1556.
Okay, thank
There's
you.
also currently a failure to appear in that case from October 23rd of 2018. The defendant failed to appear at his pretrial conference.
Okay. All right. So in regards to 2019 MM1940, I do find probable cause for that offense. Your bond is going to be set at $5,000. Condition of that bond will be no contact with the listed victim, Denise Stanzile, if I'm saying that correctly. No weapons, no firearms. In regards to 2019 CF 1839, there's 4 separate offenses. The first one is the possession or the sale and delivery of cocaine. I do find probable cause for that count. Your bond is set at $7,500. The second count is possession of a weapon or ammunition by a convicted felon. I do find probable cause for that offense. Your bond is set at $4,000. Third count is possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause. Your bond is set at $500. Fourth count is resisting an arrest without violence. I do find probable cause. Your bond is set at $500. In regards to 2018 CF 1556, your bond is revoked and it's going to be set at $0.
Your Honor, is that the drug trafficking case?
There's multiple. If I can, Your Honor, I can clarify the charges on that case. Yeah, there is a drug trafficking charge on that case.
Mhm.
There's a kidnapping, human trafficking charge on that case, as well as multiple possession of cocaine, possession of cannabis, possession of drug paraphernalia, and possession of firearm by a convicted felon.
And was he given PTR in that case? Because he is currently in custody on a PTR revocation
on a
case,
It's
and then
probably
he
on
failed
the
to
same case.
appear.
It's probably on the
So
same
he's
case.
already in custody on a 0 bond on that.
I still showed the KP outstanding. If pretrial release has more updated information, then yes. I'm looking in benchmark right now. It does appear that he was ordered pretrial release on this case originally in May of 2018.
Yeah, when they arrested him on this, there had already been a PTR revocation signed, and then he failed to appear. So he is in custody on a zero bond on that case.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No action, Judge.
Yeah, no action. Anything else, Ms. Allen?
I have two other cases before
Okay.
the court.
All right.
Is that ALLEN?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And Judge, on the first one, PTR, just condition of no return and, no contact and.
Just no contact.
Okay.
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 Lionel Lebron Cabrera. Good afternoon, sir. You have a out-of-county warrant from Duval County, case number 2018 CF 4763. Your bond is currently set at 0. All right, thank you. Dustin Boggs.
Public defender approved.
I'm looking at a failure to appear on written promise on case number 2018 CF 3220. The previous judge in that case, it's set at, your bond is currently set at 0.
Judge, on that one, it looked like they issued the warrant on 4 counts, but count 2 and 3 was already no pos.
For this particular case?
When they issued the warrant on this.
Hold on for 1 second. I want to make sure we have everything correct.
Thank you, Your Honor.
But it's just 2 counts for delivery of meth. Okay. Well, there's 2 counts of delivery of methamphetamine. I'm sorry, 1 count of delivery of methamphetamine and possession of methamphetamine. And those are what the previous court said that you failed to appear. And those bonds are going to be set at 0, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Okay, is it Aurelius Crostosmo?
Public defender approved.
All right, I have an arrest warrant in front of me for 3 counts: armed robbery with a firearm, count 2 aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, and count 3 grand theft. It appears that a probable cause has already been found on these offenses. PTR, do you have any information in criminal history on this defendant?
She has 2, she had a burglary, but she was convicted of and sentenced to 1 year in probation in 2016. And then she failed to appear in July of 2016 on the same case.
Okay. As to the armed robbery with a firearm, your bond is going to be set at $15,000. As to count 2, your bond is going to be set at $3,500. And as to count 3, your bond is set at $500. You're not to have any contacts with the listed victim, which is Dexter Burnett. You're not to have any contact with your co-defendants. Count 3 is going to be bonds with PTR.
Your Honor, because count 1 does not qualify, we're not able to supervise on any of the charges.
On any of the counts?
Yes.
All right. All right, so no PTR, but my conditions still stand. All right, thank you.
Next court date's on demand.
Dana Finnegan.
Public defender approved.
All right, I'm looking at an arrest warrant where probable cause has already been found in case number 2019 CF 1673. It's for count 1, which is a scheme to defraud. The bond on that count is $2,500. Your second count is a grand theft for over $300. And that bond is going to be set at $150.
Your Honor, would you consider PTR with drug conditions on this case?
I will.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Sir, we'll talk in a minute.
It's bond for PCR. It's no drugs or alcohol.
And random UAs, please.
Random UAs.
Next court date's on demand.
Kimberly Jackson.
Public defender approved.
Ms. Jackson, you have a failure to appear in case number 2013 MM560. The bond in that case is currently set at 0 at this time.
Your Honor, is there any way that the court would consider granting Ms. Jackson bond? Her son's high school graduation is tomorrow. To my understanding, this is her only failure to appear.
State. This is a violation of probation. And she failed to appear for the VOP hearing, so I'm going to go ahead and decline that at that time.
Next court date's June 6, 1:30, courtroom 4E.
Yunel Edward Ortiz.
Said he's hired a private attorney.
Mr. Ortiz, what are you going to do about an attorney? And your bond is currently set at 0 at this time, okay? All right, thank you.
Next court date's June 11th, 8:45, courtroom 4F.
Joshua Phelps.
Public defender approved.
All right, Mr. Phelps. I'm also looking at an arrest warrant, case number 2019 MM1906, in regards to a battery. And PTR, do you have any current history?
Yes, in 2012, he had a trespass. October 2018, battery, kidnap, false imprisonment, burglary with assault, all which were dropped. Unknown if it's the same victim.
Okay. All right, I did review the affidavit. I do find probable cause for your arrest. Your bond's gonna be set at $1,000. It's gonna be with PTR. You're not to have any contact with Alexi Marie Hernandez. You're not to return to her place of employment, which is the McDonald's located at 3845 Pleasant Hill Road. When I say no contact, Mr. Phelps, I mean no contact. No direct, indirect, or third party. Do not go to her home. Do not go to her work. Do you understand me?
The defendant's history state also be asking for no weapons or firearms.
All right, no weapons, no firearms. Anything else?
Did Madam Clerk say that PD was approved?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Next court date's May 30th, if still in jail, June 21st, 8:15, courtroom 4E, about.
Anthony Pratt.
Public defender approved.
Something in there.
Is. All right, Mr. Pratt. I reviewed the arrest warrant for count 1, armed robbery with a firearm, count 2, aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, and count 3, grand theft. I do find probable cause for each of these offenses. PTR, do we have any history?
Yes, Your Honor. He has multiple priors, including juvenile, 2010 or 2012 robbery with a firearm as a juvenile. He had, as an adult, 2012 robbery with a firearm wearing a mask, ag assault with a weapon with the mask, possession of a firearm, 2013, VOP on the robbery with the mask, and he was sentenced to DOC on that, and then followed by some drug charges.
In regards to DOC, do we know when he was released?
January 2018.
All right. As stated, I find probable cause for all three counts. Your bond as to count one would be $20,000. As to count two, your bond is $3,500. As to count three, your bond is $500. No contact with listed victims and no contact with your co-defendants. All right, thank you.
Next court dates on demand.
Maurice Avery.
Public defender approved.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, may we revisit Mr. Pratt's? Mr. Pratt's is financially unable to cover a $20,000 bond. Would the court entertain maybe
You
a
can
10
file a motion to reduce bond with the judge that is assigned to.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Avery? Good afternoon. I did review the arrest affidavit for counts 1, battery domestic, and count 2, resisting an officer without violence. I do find probable cause for your arrest for both counts. In PTR, you're unable to contact the victim.
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. And, any prior DV history?
Not in the state of Florida, but in New Jersey, a 2013 battery domestic, which was a conviction, followed by 2 other battery domestics, one in 2014 and one in 2015, both dismissed, unknown if it was the same victim.
All right. Your bond is to count 1, which is a battery domestic violence, will be set at $1,000. In regards to resisting arrest without violence, your bond is set at $500. This is going to be with PTR. You're not to have any contact with the listed victim, which is Serena Soto. You're not to respond to the Embassy Suites located at 4955 Kings Heath Road. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. Any additional conditions, state or PTR?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right.
No, Your Honor.
Thank
And
you.
Your Honor, may I be heard on probable cause as to the resisting without violence? Per the police report that we have, the only thing that states about resisting is while switching handcuffs to the front of Maurice, Maurice began to resist. Osceola Fire Rescue medically cleared. There's no factual basis as to what his resisting was or what the commands that he resisted were. And so, Your Honor, I would argue that there is no probable cause as to the resisting.
Your Honor, the city would ask for 24 hours to receive more information from law enforcement officers.
All right, well, come on back for count 2 then. I'll give you 24 hours.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Welcome. Alexander Bentoncourt. Here. Okay, so you're here for this.
Yes,
That's
and
one
one more.
All right.
City time.
Yes. Yes, Crystal Allen for the state on this case, Judge.
Crystal with a C or Crystal with a K?
C-R-Y-S-T-A-L.
1 second, I'm sorry, I was just handed a motion for pretrial detention.
And for the record, Judge, I've emailed it to the public defender's office. I understand they don't have access to the internet there, but their supervisor has forwarded it to them for review.
All right. Have you had an opportunity to review the pretrial detention motion?
No, Your Honor. This is the first I'm hearing about it.
All right. So,
City
this,
attorney,
which,
private attorney.
I'm sorry?
City attorney.
You're hiring your own attorney, sir?
I believe so. I haven't been able to get on the phone, so I don't know what's going on there.
All right. Who's this in front of? Do we know yet?
Judge Tynan.
Judge Tynan.
All right. Because a pretrial detention motion has been filed, I'm not going to take any action today. I'm actually going to set the pretrial detention motion for a hearing in front of Judge Tynan, which is the judge is currently assigned to. So there's going to be no bonds until the pretrial detention motion is ruled on all counts. I believe he has 2 cases. All right, it's going to be for all. So, Mr. Betancourt, make sure you contact your attorney and inform them that there's a pretrial detention motion filed on your cases. All right? Okay, thank you.
Next court date's on demand.
James Isaac.
Public defender approved.
All right, Mr. Isaac, you're arrested for petty theft in case number 2019 MM1936. I do find probable cause for your arrest. Your bond is going to be set at $500. I do not want you to return to the Walmart, which is located at 2855 North Old Lake Wilson Road. Do you understand? All right, thank you. Yes, ma'am.
This, to my understanding and from what Mr. Isaac is telling me, Mr. Isaac is still in high school. This is his first offense, and we would ask that the court consider direct PTR in this case. This is a nonviolent offense with 0 priors.
PTR?
He does have 1 prior in 2010, but it was not a conviction.
What was it? What kind of case was it?
It was a grand theft.
A grand theft?
Mhm.
All right.
Out of Polk County.
All right. My bond's going to remain at $500.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next court date's May 30th if still in jail, June 21st, 8:15, courtroom 4E if out.
Dolmar Marrero.
Public defender approved.
Right. I have an arrest affidavit for 2019 MM1937. It's in regards to a resisting officer without violence. I do find probable cause for that arrest. Your bond is currently set at $500. And PTR, was he out on bond on 2018 CF 1790?
No, Your Honor, he's actually on felony probation in that case. It is an Orlando case, and the charge is possession of controlled substance.
So no VOP has been filed as of yet, but you say he's currently on probation?
Yes.
All right, I find an on-view violation. I'm gonna revoke your bond on that case.
Bond set at 0.
Bond is set at 0.
Requesting no contact with Michael Miragalia.
Okay.
We'll talk in a second.
Johnny Medina?
Your Honor, quick question. Was the PD approved on this case?
Yes. Right, Mr. Johnny Medina. Sal, you're also.
I'm sorry.
You want to waive?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, no problem.
The state has filed a motion for pretrial detention in this case. I have forwarded it. I provided a copy of it to the clerk.
Oh, sorry,
and
thought it was
forwarded
another.
it to the Office of the Public Defender.
And this is another that I have not seen, Your Honor.
It's currently set in front of Judge Morgan in Division 101.
Right. So same thing here. He has a public defender assigned to him.
Yes,
All right. So this is going to, your bonds can remain at 0 until the pretrial detention motion is ruled upon. And that case is set in front of Judge Morgan. Okay?
And the court is going to take no action as to bond until that's heard, correct?
That is correct.
Thank you, Your Honor. We'll have a seat and talk to you in a second.
For this one? Oh, yeah, I did see that, yeah, for the tampering count too. Mhm.
Your Honor, would you consider no contact? Even though he's in custody?
Fine, there's no,
Phone
yeah.
calls?
Yeah, no contact, absolutely. Thank you.
And that's on Mr. Medina, correct?
Yes, that is, yeah, no contact with the listed victim. Darius Oliver. Brevard County.
Public defender approved.
Oliver?
I'm looking at a battery arrest. This is in regards to 2019 MM 1938. And we do have someone present in here. Ma'am, what is your name?
Andrea Chavaria.
All right, you're the listed victim in this case?
Yes.
All right. I do find probable cause for your arrest. And prior to setting any type of bond amount, I want to hear from Ms. Echeverria. How do you feel about having contact with this defendant?
I don't want to have contact with him.
You do not want to have contact?
No.
All right. PTR, any history?
Yes, Your Honor. 2017, altered bank bills and cash deposit fraud. Also in 2017, uttering forged out of Brevard and a VOP. He is currently on felony probation out of Brevard County. And I understand that's not in your jurisdiction. That was for information purposes only.
Okay.
And they have been contacted.
Okay, thank you. All right, your bond is going to be set at $500. Mr. Oliver, you're not to have any contact with Ms. Echeverria. Do you know what I mean by no contact? Yes, ma'am. All right, so do not call, do not text, do not send her anything via Instagram, Snapchat, none of social media. Don't contact your cousins, your mom, or anyone to contact her. Do you understand me?
Does this go as far as my daughter as well? Because my daughter was present during the incident, and I don't want him to have contact with her until all this is situated.
All right, no contact with your daughter. Anything else?
Oh, that's all. Thank you.
All right.
Can we place the daughter's name?
Serenity Echevarria.
Thank you.
And would you like PTR supervision?
Yes, please. And no return to 4648 South Orange Blossom Trail, Lot B9. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. All right, thank you.
Next court date's May 30th. If still in jail, June 21st, 8:15, courtroom 4E if out.
Andrew Rodriguez.
Public defender approved.
All right, Mr. Rodriguez, I've reviewed the arrest affidavit for 3 separate offenses. Possession of controlled substance without a prescription, and that is in regards to the methamphetamine. I do find probable cause for that count. Your bond is set at $2,500. As to count 2, possession of controlled substance without prescription, which is the synthetic cannabis. I do find probable cause for that count. Your bond is set at $2,500. As to count 3, which is the possession of drug paraphernalia, I find probable cause for that offense. Your bond is set at $500. And PTR, can he be supervised with PTR with RUAs?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add those bond amounts with PTR and RUAs. All right, thank you.
Next court date's on demand.
You needed to say something?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm sorry, I missed the conditions. Was that with PTR, with drug conditions?
Exactly, random urinalysis.
And Your Honor, Mr. Rodriguez is unfortunately unable to afford a $5,500 bond. Would the court entertain a lower bond?
You all can file a motion to reduce bond in front of, do we know who this?
No. We'll talk about it in a second. We'll talk about
Judge Morgan.
Okay, set in front of Judge Morgan soon. You all can file a motion to reduce.
And the PD was appointed on this case, correct?
I believe so. Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Did I miss anyone else? I see no hands. All right, thank you. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Bond court is a free service, but it takes several hours of my time every day. Less than 10% of Bond court viewers hit the like button, and less than 1% leave a comment. If you want Bond court to continue to be available on YouTube for free, then please hit the like button and leave a comment on all of my videos.